See, we got issues here. I don't know what the issue is. Doesn't like the Facebook feed for some reason. YouTube's up. Doesn't like Facebook. Hurtful as fuck. Connecting live video. Nope. I want to use my... Oh, boy. This is what I have to go through. Look, not working here. Oh, my God. It stopped Facebook. It does not like my Facebook feed here. Let me check this out again. Oh, God. Parrot encoder. Stream key. Copy. Oh. Parrot encoder. Yes. Wow. No. Jesus Christ. We have to get on YouTube too, I think. No, we're good. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Oh my God. Sorry about that, folks. I think we're live. You all don't know what it takes to go through this every week. The stress I have getting the show up and running. Point and laugh at Lefty. Dave, you need a sound man. Okay. I apologize. That was horrible. That was a horrible beginning to a show, and I know you're used to that with me, but it's not acceptable. I don't care. As I was saying, we have a big show lined up. We can't go through this shit every week. We got Pat Duff calling in. Pat Duff. That's exciting.
That's very exciting.
That's really... He started some shit. Again.
Definitely would not want to be in his sights.
No.
Crosshairs at all.
You don't want Pat Duff mad at you. Because he will go on oprahmachine.com and destroy you. And he's out to get Chief Zembrowski to resign, which is awesome. It's kind of unfair that he gets to speak. And all the cops that I talk to that want legal cannabis, they can't talk about it. All the chiefs that want to smoke weed with me, they can't talk about it. And there's a lot of chiefs that want to smoke weed with me. Call me, Chief. Call me, Chief. You know who you are. Hit me up. The number's right here, Chief. In about a week, we're going to vote. We'll have our answer. And January 1st, Chief, give me a call. You know who you are. Call this number, and let's get together and have a powwow. Me and you. And the other chiefs that want to get stoned with me. I'm down. Don't you want to get high with a police chief?
Maybe I have.
Maybe you have. I waited my whole life for this.
Bring in the boss one. I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown and you fool bitch. So just step back. I'm mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty. Let's roll.
If I just shared to you a shitty link, just erase it. Because I probably gave you a bad link, and here comes the good one.
I'm back on the scene. It's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with?
I know a chief.
Lefty. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty.
We can do some K-bar dabs, too.
Let's roll.
adult use dabs. Yeah, I can't wait to smoke weed with the chief of police. And actually, there's a few towns. Down the shore, I'll give you a hint. Down the shore. Do-do-do. 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 Alright, here comes the K-bar dab. This is my dad's knife from Vietnam. I believe there's some Agent Orange molecules on here. Good morning, Larry. How you feeling, Larry? You're looking good. I know you're not feeling good, but you're looking good. So I want you all to fire up your rigs, fire up your joints, because I want you all to pray with me. I want to say a prayer for my friend Jeff right now. He's not doing well. But you've known that for a while. And he needs our prayers. And this is a spiritual use dab. I believe in spiritual use, and so does Jeff. And I'm going to pray for Jeff right now. That God blesses him and his family. Please, prayers do mean a lot. They count for like 11% of your recovery. So if you want to pray for somebody, please pray for Jeff. He was out there fighting for you. Fighting for you and your rights to use cannabis and your disability rights and wheelchairs, and he needs your prayers. Give 10% of your day to Jeff. It's called the tithing. What do you do when you have bong water in your mouth? Does anybody know what to do when you get bong water in your mouth?
Most people, I would imagine, would spit it out.
Spit it out, or where am I going to spit it? That's a lot.
I'm shocked that you're still deciding what to do.
I have nowhere to spit it, and it's in my mouth. Do you all spit or swallow? Sorry.
I was about to do a dab. You just totally changed my mind out of it. No, thank you. I get that in my mouth.
So we got a few calls to make today. As soon as I recover from that dab. Pat Duff. I'm going to call Chris Goldstein unsolicited. We're going to call the postmaster. We need to do that first. Get on the list. The postmaster list, because it takes like an hour to get through to these people. So we got to be put on hold.
Hey, Jerry, Michael. Patrick says, I am writing my new article right now.
Nice. Nice. Can you read it to us?
I think he might want it to hit wherever it's supposed to.
Okay.
Before.
Pat Duff's amazing. I'm glad he's on our side, that's for sure. Jeez. Boy, oh boy. Pitbull. Pitbull Pat.
Jerry says Lefty swallows. I saw someone that looked just like you. I really thought it was you. I was going to go up, and it wasn't.
As you can see, I spit. I did not swallow. And I was concerned over what I should do. I wasn't sure.
I think most people wouldn't have taken that long to make a decision, though.
See, so many people said swallow. They like me. They want me to swallow. All right. Well, no, I didn't swallow. You saw that. I spit it right out. I spit it out. I don't want that. I didn't want that in my life. All right, let's get on the phone with the post office first of all. It takes like an hour. So hold on. Where's that stupid number? Jeez. I thought I found it, now I lost it. This one? Fuck. Here it is. Okay. 888. Hold on. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Okay. I hope they can hear me.
Hello. You have reached the United States Postal Service Office of Inspector General. This number is only for reporting fraud, waste, or misconduct involving Postal Service programs or employees.
Exactly.
If this is an emergency, please hang up
And
and dial 911.
no, it's an emergency, but I'm talking to you about this emergency.
Mail delivery, customer service issues, or are trying to reach your local post office, press 1.
No.
To report fraud, waste, or misconduct involving Postal Service
There it is.
programs or
There it
employees,
is.
press 3 to leave a message.
What? Leave a message? I want to speak to a person. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Wait, can you tell me those again? Can I have those again, please?
Hello. You have reached the United States Postal Service Office of Inspector General. This number is only for reporting fraud, waste, or misconduct involving Postal Service programs or employees. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you have questions about mail delivery, customer service issues, or are trying to reach your local post office, press 1. To report fraud, waste, or misconduct involving Postal Service programs or employees, press 3 to leave a message.
What about 2? What happened to 2? I don't want to leave a message. I want to hit 2. I'm hitting 2. No?
Sorry, I found too many people with similar names.
Must be dialing 2 might
Hello.
start their
You have
Rolodex
reached-
thing.
To understand what the OIG hotline can assist you with, visit our website at www.uspsoig.gov/hotline for details. You may also file a complaint online. If you wish to mail your
Jerry,
complaint,
why would I
please
scream
send
at
it to
the
United
person?
States
I
Postal
wouldn't
Service
scream at
Office of
them.
Inspector General, Attention Hotline, 1735 North Lynn Street, Arlington, Virginia, 22209-2020.
Come on.
Or you may fax your complaint
Oh, my
to
God.
703-248-2259.
Oh, come on. We just want a wheelchair access.
Or 866-756-6741.
Can you just put a ramp in?
If you would
Where
like
are
to leave
we?
a message,
At 3 months
press
later?
5.
This is working 3 months now. August 17th. Is this it? Do we leave a message now? Oh, God. This is pathetic.
To understand what the OIG hotline
Oh,
can
my
assist you
God.
with, visit our website at www.
They said we could leave a message, right? I thought we could leave a message.
I think that was option 3.
For details.
I hit 3.
You may also file a
Oh, this is
complaint
so
online.
annoying.
If you wish to mail your complaint, please send it to United States
Oh, my
Postal
God.
Service Office of Inspector General, Attention Hotline. Sorry, I could not find this option.
No, I
To
think
understand what the
we'll
OIG
just do that later.
can assist. Sorry, I could not find this option. Sorry, we cannot connect your call at the moment. Please try again later.
A dead end.
This is what happens when your boss is Congress. When your boss is Congress, you don't give a shit because your boss doesn't give a shit. We called the last time and we got a national number. We were on a hold for like 40 minutes. I want that hold for 40-minute number. I want that. I'll try this again.
Hello. You have reached the United States Postal Service office.
Hitting 1 now.
Please wait while your call is being transferred.
Okay, here we go. Maybe they'll give us another number. Oh, that's so loud. Oh, God.
HL Skill 01 is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hello, this is Lefty Grimes. I'm calling about complaint number 14141190. There is no wheelchair access to the Bayonne post office. We have complained about this multiple times to you and to Bayonne and to the council, and nothing has been done. How would you feel if you had to live in a wheelchair and you couldn't get in to buy stamps? This is going on 3 months that you guys have done absolutely nothing to fix this problem. And I would appreciate you to call me back. I am from Sativa Cross. We are a 501c3 nonprofit representing thousands of disabled people in New Jersey. And you people have dropped the ball. You have dropped the ball, and you're making sick and suffering people suffer more. Can you please call me back? My number is 908-616-0682, and I'll be in the office for another hour. So if you can call me back within the hour, that would be amazing and very helpful to people in wheelchairs here in Bayonne, where there is absolutely no wheelchair access and you can't buy stamps. I mean, I can't even buy a stamp in a wheelchair. And this is not the only place in Bayonne. There's a lot of places, but you're only the post office, so we're going to deal with you right now. You're a federal building. You should know better. You should be doing better. You should care more about your people. I don't get this. I don't get this. I don't know how you people can just blow this off. It's been 3 months. You have done nothing. You have billions of dollars, billions of our dollars, our tax dollars. You have. You should be running to fix this thing. Running with 10 trucks. But no, we get nothing. I get a thing from you saying, "Oh, did you get a response? Did you get a response, Lefty?" Yeah, I got a response in September. And I said, "Yeah, your response was awful and inappropriate. You're asking me how I felt about your response. You sent me an email to ask me about my response to your services. You didn't do anything. You still haven't done anything. Are you going to send me another one today to ask me how the phone call went that you didn't pick up for? Is that what we're going to do too? This is disgusting treatment. Disgusting treatment of human beings, of disabled people. If people in wheelchairs should actually sue. Everybody who's in a wheelchair right now that can't get into the Bayonne post office should sue. And you should sue the postmaster directly. Sue them all. Call them all out. We're putting you on blast. We're putting you on Facebook. We're putting you on all over social media. You people are horrible. Horrible. How dare you treat disabled people like shit? It's awful. So I'm just going to let this message run out. I'm going to rant. You have anything to say to them? Well,
Did you leave your phone number?
Oh, 908-616-0682. I'm sorry. Give me a call back. 908-616-0682. We're very upset. There's many disabled people that can't get in. Women in strollers with babies. I drove past and I saw a woman with a baby had to leave all her stuff outside and carry her baby into the post office and leave all her stuff outside to get maybe stolen because you guys have dropped the ball and not done anything with your billions of dollars to put in a wheelchair ramp for people that are suffering and sick. Frustrating.
Federal building that's not in compliance. I think that sets a standard as well. If they're not worried about access, why would a small business owner be a couple of doors down?
The pharmacy was on board. That pharmacy that I was busting their balls for months, well, they got a ramp, and it's out there every day. They actually put it out every day. Because I said to them, I'm like, well, you're going to put this ramp out. What if it's not out? What, do you have to knock and scream? No, it's out there every day. They did a good job. Was that Total Care Pharmacy? I forget.
Yeah.
It's on Sativa Cross cover photo. Mm-hmm. That's a good pharmacy. We're going to go there. Frustrating. Anything else that I missed? Anybody have to... I got her on the line here. Should I say anything else, guys? Chucky, Dan? Did I miss anything? I mean, we're still recording, so I'm just going to keep going. Maybe we could start the show then. All right. Well, we can move on. We'll just keep running the line. You're all paying for this. Your tax money's paying for this phone call that I'm leaving a message on right now, just so you know. Patrick Duff. Okay. Patrick Duff is writing an article right now. I can't wait to see this freaking article. Oh, my God. He's calling out Dombrowski, Sabet. He found all the emails from those guys. He found them all, and he's going off.
You've reached the maximum length for voice messages. Goodbye.
I love it. Goodbye. I knew she'd run out of time. You'll run out of time before we run out of heart. I thought it was money. It's probably both. All right, so we should make an unsolicited call to some people. I do want to call Jim Miller. I don't know if he's free yet, but I'm going to
Daniel
call him.
Carvino says send it. I think it automatically sent, right?
Yeah, it's sent.
It didn't do any options.
That's it. Chris Goldstein did not reply back yet. Oh, I want to call the Bayonne postmaster. That's what I wanted to do now. I'm upset. I wanted to get on that list for an hour wait because we actually did speak to someone last time. We had to wait an hour. We got someone on the phone. All right, Bayonne Post Office. I have it here somewhere. I'll pull them up now. All right, here we go. 275. Okay. Yellow. I don't hear nothing.
Postal Service is committed to providing you a secure, effective way to deliver your ballot. If you plan to vote by mail, plan ahead. For more information about voting by mail, press 1. To hear USPS response to COVID-19, press 2. If you are experiencing delivery issues, press 3. For severe weather or disastrous impact, press 4. Or stay on the line and we'll continue.
What were the first options? I didn't get them. I guess we'll just stay on.
I know what you're doing.
Please stay on the line at the end of this call to take a short survey about your phone experience. At any time during this call, you can return to the main menu by saying main menu. To track a package, say package
No.
or press 1.
No.
Sorry, I didn't get that. To track a package, say package or press 1. To order stamps or check order status, say stamps or press 2. For redelivery, change of address, hours and locations, hold mail, pricing, or zip code, say mail or press 3. For mail delivery issues, say carrier or press 4. For anything else, say other or press 5.
Do it again.
For passports, say passport. To order free shipping supplies, say supplies. For click and ship, my online account, online claims, informed
Chicken
delivery, or other technical support, say technical support. For reporting criminal activity or vandalism to USPS property, say fraud.
Fraud.
For GoPost, I think you said fraud. Is that correct?
Worse than that,
Say
actually.
My mistake. For passports,
Oh, no.
say passport.
Fraud.
I think you said passport. Is that correct?
No.
Say yes. My mistake. For passports, say passport or
Fraud.
press 1. To order free shipping supplies,
Fraud.
say supply. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Fraud.
For passports, say passport
Fraud.
or press 1. To order
Fraud.
free shipping Thank you for calling the U.S.
No.
Postal
What?
Inspection Service,
I
a
can't with you.
federal law enforcement agency.
For more information or to file a report, you can also visit our website at www.uspis.gov. For questions regarding package tracking, including parcels with a delivered scan but not...
To better serve you, please say your 5-digit zip code.
Okay.
Sorry. I think you said
07002.
Is that correct?
Yes.
The information you provide to the Postal Service is Privacy Act protected and is only disclosed in limited circumstances. Would you like to hear our privacy policy? Say yes or no.
No.
Please hold while I transfer your call.
To who? Who are you? I'm triggered. I'm so triggered.
Inspection Service, how may I help you?
Good morning. I'm calling about case number 14141190. Can you help me with that, please? We're on the air, too.
That's a Postal Care Center number. I could try to look it up and see what it's
Oh,
what it's
sure.
about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, let me see if they didn't code it for the inspection service, I wouldn't be able to see it. But let's see. No, they did not code it as a Postal Inspection Service issue.
I did not say flog, Justin.
What is the issue, sir?
In the Bayonne post office, we reported there was no wheelchair access back in August. They were supposed to fix the lift, and it hasn't been fixed yet. So nobody in the wheelchairs can get into the post office in Bayonne. And we don't know what to do because there's a lot of us, and we need to know what to do.
Yeah, that is a customer care center issue. It's not an inspection service issue. Have you spoken to the postmaster in Bayonne and to try to determine like a timeline that the thing can get fixed, or if there could be a temporary ramp installed, something like that?
Went to the postmaster in Bayonne, went to the council in Bayonne, and nothing has been done. Maybe you can help us. Maybe you're the one that's going to help us, because nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, it's not. We wouldn't get. This isn't an inspection service issue. We're criminal law enforcement.
Well, this is
I know that would be an ADA enforcement.
Yeah, they're breaking the law.
So we don't have any issue with that. That's kind of like a civil thing.
Well, no, they're breaking the law. They're actually it's a violation of rights. They're violating our rights here in Bayonne.
Yeah, like I said, it is an ADA issue, but it's not a criminal issue.
Yeah, it is.
It would be civil. No, it would be civil, sir, not criminal. The only thing I can tell you is I can transfer you to the district manager's office, and maybe someone there can give you a timeline or try to discuss it with the facilities operations people.
Okay, can I have his name and number before you transfer me? Can I have his number or her number?
Well, I only have a general number.
Okay.
So it's
I'll take it.
Hold on, I'm looking for it now. Oh, okay. So it's 732-819-3265. So hold on.
That's a New Jersey number.
732?
Yes.
It's like New Brunswick office, I think.
Central Jersey.
Good morning, this is Mary District Office. Can I help you?
Hi, good morning. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. I'm calling about case number 14141190. And I'm wondering if you can help me with that.
The case number you just gave me, is that complaint issue?
Yeah, it's a wheelchair. They have no wheelchair access here in Bayonne since August, and we're trying to get this fixed because we have a lot of people in wheelchairs that can't even buy stamps right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, and can you give me 1 second? All right, just one moment, okay?
Thank you. Hugh says be nice to the worker. Of course, Hugh. I'm always nice.
Justin, are you offering to flog people? Flogging? Flog?
That's a question mark after the flog there, Justin. We understand what you're saying there. This is not the time for that.
Or across the country. You
Is
can
that what
count
you
on
wanted
the
all them
United
hemp
States
for?
Postal Service for quick delivery to your new address. Just file a permanent or temporary forwarding order at your local post office and your mail will arrive right at your doorstep.
Get flogged with hemp.
Yeah, can you make a hemp flogger, Justin? Hemp flogging is a thing. Oh, boy.
www.usps.com. That's where you can find information on rates.
I didn't
That might
find
be
what
a
I...
while.
Locating
No.
the nearest post office.
I didn't find what I needed
Change your
there.
address.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let me just take your information, okay? Just give me 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
What was the case number again?
14141190.
Okay, and this number you received calling the 800 number,
Yes,
Customer care?
I put a complaint in, and they asked how my complaint went. That's all they did was they asked, can we have a they wanted to see how I went with the phone call. I'm like, well, fix the problem.
okay.
They wanted to survey me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
survey for
Yeah,
what?
well, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I think that's an automatic thing that comes through when
Oh.
there's a complaint.
Okay.
When a complaint. But they should be looking into this. Usually it's 48 hours, like it takes 2 to 3 business days for them to respond to you.
That was actually August 17th,
what's your name
the
again?
original.
My name is Edward Grimes, Grimes, and the complaint was put in on August 17th.
Oh, August 17th. And what's your first name?
Edward?
Yeah.
My friends call me Lefty. You can call me Lefty.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Edward Grimes, okay. And this is about Bayonne Post Office. Wheelchair access, right?
Yes. Lack of access.
And you called about it in August, you said?
Yeah. We put this complaint in August. We went to the postmaster, went to the council in Bayonne, and nothing's been done. So I'm hoping maybe you can.
We're in the district office, so we'd have to look into it. We have to find out who. I'm the secretary, so I would have to find out who handles such a. There's no wheelchair access to the post office, so people can't come in to buy stamps. People with wheelchair cannot enter. I guess that's what you're saying. Right?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. May I also have your phone number, Mr.
Sure.
Grimes?
908-616-0682.
908-616-0682. And you are the customer with the wheelchair, or are you complaining in general?
Yes,
to the-
I actually was in my wheelchair that day. And I saw other people in wheelchairs that were not able, and actually a woman in a stroller with a baby that had to leave her stroller outside and bring the baby in. So it's not just wheelchairs also.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take the information. I'll either have your local post office postmaster will be contacting you, or the district will contact you regarding what happened or how to go about in getting a wheelchair access in that building, or if it's even allowed for us to put one in. Okay.
Well, they do have a lift ramp, but it's broken. It's been broken since August.
No, there is a ramp. Okay.
Yeah, but it's broken.
So what's wrong with the ramp? Is the cement broken? Is that what it is?
We're not really sure. We were there trying to use it. The maintenance guy was originally yelling at me for trying to use it. We were locked out of it from the outside. We never had any access to it. And the postmaster there was not incredibly helpful. Her recommendations were that he stay home and maybe the mailman will come here and get his packages or do whatever. Or there's another post office, she said, like 20-something blocks away. That's a lot in a wheelchair. I don't know that we're satisfied getting a response from that individual with that being her recommendations.
Yeah.
So the ramp is there, but it's not accessible.
Right.
It's actually a
Something-
lift.
Maybe it's cracked or something where the wheelchairs won't go.
No, it's a lift. It's an electric or some kind of a lift machine.
Kind of like a little mini elevator lift system.
Yeah, maybe it's an elevator system and hydraulics. I don't know.
Okay, it's broken. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never went to Bayonne. Okay. I'm going to take this over to the district office. Like I said, I'll give it to my manager, which handles the offices. And we'll find out from there. Okay, which handles those offices.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I worked in a big corporate business, and if the elevator was out, it was fixed within like a week at the most. You know,
Yeah,
something
I
like this.
understand.
Is it
Well,
because
it was working prior to, like, before you had used it, right?
It was not working at least from August 17th. Other people had been making complaints about it.
right.
We've been trying to
Okay.
handle it
All right.
very
August
nicely with
17th.
everyone, but like we're actually about to put in a request to see when it was reported and how long it's actually been. And if there was anything ever really directly done about it, or if it's just sitting there and nobody cares because they don't use a wheelchair and they don't need to go anywhere in it.
Yeah.
Right, I understand. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. My
And
name is
around town,
Mary.
like
I'm the,
like around
secretary
here,
for
there's
the
not a
town.
lot of
Okay, so
access. And I think with the
either I will
post
get
office
back to
being
you
a
or,
federal building, that it's making a standard that other people are not. So I don't think it's a good look.
Let me ask you a question. Is the problem because like your boss is Congress and you can't like go to somebody directly or
No.
Okay.
No, the reason something like that happens is like we use like when we need something fixed on a building or something that it has to go through an approval through the contract through the maintenance. So that's probably why it probably didn't get approved yet or something that we were waiting for it probably.
I'm sure if it was the elevator that the staff and everyone else had to use, that it wouldn't be 2+ months by now.
Yeah, it's been three
No,
months.
it's just as a process. Like they hire people to do it, so it's through a facility that does the contracting. So sometimes
This
it
is a
takes
federal
longer.
building that is not ADA
Our
compliant.
parking lot is waiting for a fix, and it still hasn't done yet.
But they should have a maintenance. Like somebody should be maintaining that like every couple of months, right? I would think. Don't you think?
Yeah, so I'm not sure about this electric one. I didn't know there was an electric one, so I'll find out more information and we'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Grant,
What
you're welcome.
what was your name?
about
I'm
this,
sorry.
okay?
What was your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Mary.
Mary. Thank you, Mary. Very helpful.
And you are at a local office?
No, we're the district. You're actually calling the district office. I'm the secretary for the district office, like a journal clerk for them. So here we have the managers work with the postmasters. Like the postmasters managers are here.
It's concerning. A fair amount of time has passed, and I'm heartbroken that would be said to someone. Go to a different post
I'll definitely get back to you as
office.
soon as I can. Okay.
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 Within. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome,
Have a good
okay?
day.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Good morning, Jonathan. I don't think they're doing anything about wheelchair access, Jonathan.
I when I go to councils, I ask them to spend a day in a wheelchair. Nobody's taken me up on that yet. Not one councilman has had the balls or the intestinal fortitude to get in a wheelchair for a day and not get out. Act like, you're in the wheelchair and you're stuck in there for the whole day. One whole day. They won't do it. They're scared. What are you scared of?
Rolling through trash juice.
Yeah.
Rolling through glass.
Feces,
Not having access.
urine.
Looking at a step, and it might as well be a 50-foot wall.
When you're pushing a wheelchair with your hands, everything that's on the ground is on your hands. I saw Justin get his hands cut one day. We were messing around. He got his hands cut. I never knew that was a problem until I was ignorant as F, watching Justin bleed. And I'm like, why are you bleeding? He's like, well, I rolled over some glass. I never thought that the glass would just, wow. So yeah, spend a day in a wheelchair and you'll see what's up. You'll be your eyes will be wide open after that. I tell you, you'll be seeing every friggin' step and every little obstacle.
Jonathan, I know you just popped on. She just said it was because they need to do whatever and maybe put bids in for the work or whatever. I'm not really sure. There's only so many lifts and something. I think that's a union too, like the steelworkers union. There's only so many local people that do anything like that,
Well, if it's like traffic lights, the traffic lights are between 500 and 800,000. So that lift must cost about $1 million, I'm sure. It's bigger than a traffic light, right? That must cost maybe
that
$2 million.
number is to Michael Deignan, postal co-chair.
Really? Postal co-chair. Oh, good job. How'd you know? Jerry. Wow. Right on. I guess he reverse phone numbered it. We got some good activists out there. They're like, okay, I'll find out who this guy is. Good job. That's what we got to do, man. We got to stick together and fight this because look at this. Been fighting this for 3 months. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. You got to make them care. You got to call them out on this, on social media, call them out and put pressure on them. The only thing that works in this
Yeah,
world.
that's because they're not in a wheelchair and they don't need to use it. And if it were the other one that everybody else did have to use, I'm sure it obviously wouldn't be this long or waiting
so
for
true.
a work order or whatever. Daniel Corvino says a business usually has an elevator company to maintain them.
Unbelievable.
It should be. And it's not even like they can decide, oh, we don't want this anymore. No, it has to have something. They have to have access. They can't like vote to just remove it.
3
It has
months.
to be fixed.
It'll be 3 months. This will be November. Will be the 3rd month. It'll be out.
Hugh says, unfortunately, the federal government elected officials have been trying to bankrupt the Postal Service.
That I heard too. The Postmaster General is a Trump donor. He got the job because he donated to Trump. He knows nothing about the post office, knows nothing about mail, and yet he's in there trying to destroy it. You're absolutely right. And the post office is good for delivering cannabis. I got to tell you. They deliver a lot of cannabis on the post office. You can't do FedEx, can't do DHL because they x-ray it. Post office doesn't have the resources to do all that. So, yeah, people send weed all the time. That's what Weed Man says. That's a New Jersey Weed Man. That's what he says. He says he uses the Postal Service all the time. So, there you go.
Maybe they should embrace it and save themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jerry's sharing
Who's that?
some information.
Who's this? I can't go on that. Who is that person? The executive board? Can we call them? You got a number for them? Jerry, give me their number. I'll call them up right now. Let's escalate this to the executive board. You give me some numbers, I'll call them, bro. I'm down. I'm disgusted. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do to put pressure on these
Can
people.
you click on that and open it to a new window?
Yeah, maybe to a new window. Or I should just do it here.
Right click?
Yeah, right click. New tab. Oh, wow.
Industry co-chair. There we go.
What the hell? Who is that? What is this? Postal Customer Council. I have never heard of this. What the hell is this? I'm going to call each one of these guys. Oh, you know what? It's probably the same people. Probably the same number. No, it's not. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Good job, bro. Wow. Got a lot of numbers here.
We'll call the top three.
We'll call this 6,
Wait,
9.
Director of events.
12.
See who's the most relevant, maybe.
Talk on the mic.
We have events, education. No, go down.
Okay.
Education, membership, communications, sponsorships.
I don't mind calling all these people.
I'll start with the top three. Bring me back up there.
All right, Isabella West. Yeah, give me a different number from that one. And we're just going to call all these people. We're going to escalate this. We're done. We're done being passive on this one and just waiting for something to happen. We're not going to wait for something to happen anymore. We're going to make it happen. We're going to use this podcast today to make something happen. This may be boring for the listeners, sorry, but we're going to do some activism today here and call these people. Call them out and ask them to fix this problem. Because you know what? Maybe somebody has someone in a wheelchair and they know. Okay. Hold on. All right, so we got numbers here. Let's give them a
Thank
call.
you, Jerry.
Where's Jerry up here? Okay. Good job, Jerry. Awesome. All right, so we'll call Isabella first. phones are working again. Seems like it.
Isabella Mest is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hi, Isabella. This is Lefty Grimes. I'm calling about complaint number 14141190. The complaint is about a wheelchair access being denied in Bayonne. Since August 17th, the Bayonne Post Office has had no availability for people in wheelchairs to buy stamps, to do any kind of business at the post office. We were told to go up 20 blocks. We were told to go home. They'll deliver them to us. We were told a lot of things except that the ramp's going to be fixed, and the ramp has not been fixed. It's a lift. It has not been maintained. Nobody seems to care about it. The postmaster, we went to the postmaster in Bayonne, went to the council in Bayonne, and nothing is happening with this wheelchair access here. We need some help. We'd like somebody in your organizations, please help us get a wheelchair ramp at the Bayonne Post Office. It's a federal building. I believe it's required by law. I would go as far as to say it's a crime to have this not working. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's just not right. You're denying the rights of people in wheelchairs, and I see it all over in Bayonne. I see steps everywhere. I did not expect that from the post office. I did not expect.
Well, I think when a federal building does that, it sets a standard and it says we're this big and are non-compliant and don't care. So why would the small convenience store or the small pharmacy next door,
The pharmacy across the street?
Butterfly Effect?
There's actually a pharmacy across the street from the post office with no access. You're a pharmacy. You have one job. You have one job. Take care of the sick and the dying. So if the sick and the dying are in wheelchairs, well, I guess they don't get to get taken care of. Same thing with the post office. You got sick and dying people, and you guys are making them suffer more. You're giving them stress. You're giving them pain and hoops to jump through, making them go 20 blocks to up to 46th Street, or to stand outside begging for people to go in and buy stamps for you.
And the postmaster, the short of what she recommended you're doing was go home.
Yeah.
Don't come to the post office. Don't come here. Go home. Maybe maybe somebody will come to you and pick up your packages.
Maybe.
Or go like 20 other blocks down in your wheelchair. Go 20 blocks down. You can't even. Is there any like wheelchair Ubers? Is that even an option?
You have to ask, I think, for it. But it's a big deal. It's another hoop.
20 blocks away is not a hop and skip for a wheelchair.
So I would ask that some people spend a day in the wheelchair and see what it's like to be in a wheelchair. But nobody's taken me up on that yet. Everybody's afraid to take me up on that. I wonder why. Because, when you push your wheelchair through the streets, everything that's on the ground goes on your hands. So if there's glass on the ground, there's going to be glass on your hands.
Leave your phone number.
Oh, I'm sorry. 908-616-0682. This is Edward Grimes. My number is 908-616-0682. Please call me back. We need to get this problem fixed as soon as possible. It's been the third month. We're working on 3 months now. 3 months. And if this is an elevator inside the post office that the workers needed, or that the public needed, the regular ableist public needed, it would be fixed by now. But because it's wheelchairs, because it's the people that people just don't care about people in wheelchairs. I see it. I see it all over New Jersey.
Can you have any empathy and imagine being in a town and you can't even go and tend to your own errands?
Here in Jersey, we have police stations with no wheelchair access. Yeah, in Brielle. You can go look at yourself. For yourself. In Brielle, there's a police station and a council that has council meetings with no wheelchair access. It's like 10 or 12 steps to get up or down to the police station. Oh. Okay, thank you. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Lefty. Basti and Jamie, what's up?
Hey, who's this?
It's John Allen.
Hey.
Hey.
Honey.
Yeah, I was just hearing all the stuff you guys were saying about you guys going into council meetings and telling people to spend the day in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to live like my life. They would not be able to tolerate it. There are so many barriers that are put up just because I'm in a wheelchair that most people don't think about because they'll never be in that situation.
What type of things do you run across?
There's even an inch-high step, I can't get up. There's simple things that people don't think about that need to be brought up. Stuff like that is absolutely ridiculous to me.
But this is a town. I just think it just sets a different standard. When you see a federal building, or you're kind of a role model almost. You're not just a regular Joe Blow. If you're not compliant and you're not doing what you're supposed to, why would anybody else? Why would they?
Jamie, I've seen other federal buildings not be handicapped accessible. There was at one point when I lived in Eastham where I wasn't able to really get into a council meeting because their ramp was blocked off. And I understand, yes, they had a ramp, but they were doing construction on the ramp, so I couldn't get into it. So I've seen stuff like that my entire life. I've been in a wheelchair since I was 11 years old, and it's what it is because they don't think about it, like I said, because they're not in that situation.
I didn't realize you get glass on your hands if you roll over glass. That's something I never thought about till I saw Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's happened to me numerous times where I've had shards of glass wedged underneath my fingernails.
Oh, that's like torture.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good time. But, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thank you guys for taking my call. But, like I said, these people would not be able to live in our situation. That's why they don't take you up on it.
Yeah, they're scared. They're definitely scared.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Thank you guys for taking my call. It was good talking to you.
I miss you.
I miss you, Jamie.
Thanks, brother.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
Love
See
you.
ya.
Bye.
Have a good day, Jonathan.
He's a nice guy. Oh, I forgot to ask him. Did he get his wheelchair, his new wheelchair? Or,
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot. I should have asked him that.
I haven't been.
I think he, he seemed to have raised some funds for his new wheelchair. I don't know if he got it yet.
Should we try the next Michael Deegan? Jerry's saying email him. I'll email a bunch of people when we get off.
Well, that was the number we called, I think.
No.
It wasn't?
We just called Isabella at this number. This is Michael Deegan. Oh, why do I only have half the number? Do you still have that open?
Wow.
Yeah, still it's here. 819, I missed.
Okay, so we didn't call him? No, I guess not. Oh, all right, let's call him. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, he looks like a helpful guy. Let's see. All right. Now we'll call Michael.
I'll call these people every day.
Good afternoon, this is Mary.
Good morning. I was wondering if Michael Deegan was available. I'd be able to speak with him, please.
Oh, I can barely hear you. Hello?
Oh, can you hear us now? Hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah. That's
Better.
Okay. Did we just speak to you, Mary?
Yeah, Mr. Grimes, right?
Yeah. Okay. We just called. Okay. Yeah. We're okay. We're just trying to make the a few calls here. So I'm sorry we called you twice.
If we
Yeah, I
call
did
James
call the
Lombard,
office
will it
there.
come back to her as well?
There should be someone looking at it right now to make sure that it's working.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much. Sorry to bother you again.
So actually, she get a response
no,
pretty
that's
soon if
fine.
they're looking into it right now.
Okay.
She get a response back fairly soon then?
Who is this? Who's the other person on the line?
I'm sorry. I was with him with the wheelchair when we were having the incident, and we just really need to get this fixed.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they're working on it right now. So they'll put in it. If it's not working, they'll put in a ticket right away and take care of it. Because once it comes to us, they want to make sure that it's done. A customer can't come into the post office. You know, that's also a revenue for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm really
Is
sorry
there
that
any
it was.
way to like get any history about like was there hopefully a ticket put in initially in August when we made our initial complaint?
I mean, there must have been. I'm really sorry that I am not unable. The ticket number that you gave me, the numbers look like it's an actual ticket number, like you placed a complaint. But unfortunately, I'm not able to look that up right now. But the office would have that complaint if it was put in, or you can call the call center, like the 800 number you dialed, and they will be able to look up that ticket number and tell you what was the
Well,
outcome.
when we look up that ticket number, everybody says it's not their department.
Yeah.
It's not fraud. It's not
Right.
whatever. It's a ticket number that doesn't have to deal with them. It's nobody's problem.
I know.
Oh, really? No, you called the 800 number, right? Like
Yeah.
customer care 800.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've given several different options of pushing numbers, the ticket number, and everyone says that's not their department.
How did you do you know the person you spoke to when you, because you said someone called and asked you about the call, so definitely you called the right place.
Okay.
You definitely the ticket number. I'll see if I can find someone, like I can call the help desk myself and see if I can get the ticket number and see what it says. Okay, and if I'm able to today, I'll give you a call back. If not tomorrow, okay?
Would really appreciate
Yeah.
it so much.
Thanks, Mary.
You're welcome.
Thank
okay?
you.
You're welcome. Okay, you have a great day. Bye bye.
I want to know more about this group that she's in. What is this group here? It's GNJPCC. It's Greater New Jersey Postal Customer Council. What is that? Never heard of
I've never
this.
heard of that at all.
I don't know what this is.
Is that the only thing they have in there about us?
Look, they have
No.
meetings
Is there anything about? There you go.
about us. Let's see what this is. Okay, can you read what this is?
The Greater New Jersey Postal Customer Council was honored on. No, this is just. No, this doesn't really explain what they are.
No, that's not
They
helpful
get
at
a
all.
platinum. Who cares?
Goals. All right, what's our goals? Here we go.
Establish a means of regular communication between customers and local postal managers. Provide information necessary to make the most effective and efficient use of postal products and services. Inform postal customers of the latest changes in postal service products, services, and rates. Provide an organized way for U.S. Postal Service speakers to introduce products, services, programs to the public. Create a better understanding of the USPS through business meetings, mailer clinics, seminars, tours. No. Assist customers in improving their internal mail operations.
Here's our mission: to employ its resources to implement and coordinate the activities of the U.S. Postal Service in its relations with the business community and public in general.
So if they're worried about the public in general.
Well, I don't understand what this group is, though. Like, who is this? A 501c3? Like, what is this? Meetings? They have upcoming meetings? Like, what is this place?
Mary Oak says Jeff is with you guys in spirit.
I saw that, Mary. Mary, God bless you. I'm going to make you some more bone broth for Jeff on Friday. I'm going to be cooking bone broth all day. So whether you like it or not, I'm coming down Saturday. I'm going to drop it off in your front door if I have to. And I'm going to put ginger in this one. So I'll strain it a little better because it was a little bit of thyme in there, I think, and I'm going to strain all that out better. But he needs that bone broth for. It doesn't take any energy to break that down, and so that would be very helpful. Oops.
I'm sending all of my light, Mary, to you and Jeff, the rest of the family.
I asked for a prayer to start the show, and I do want everyone to pray for Jeff. He was out there fighting for you for years. So yeah, please pray for Jeff and Mary and the family. Mary, you're one tough cookie. I love you. Whatever I could do to help you, just let me know. But I'm coming with some bone broth this week. And maybe some canna butter with some turmeric. Yeah, maybe something, bring something else. And maybe some blue glue. Or was it Gorilla Dream? I don't know. We haven't decided. I am stressed out. All right, I'm going to do all right, Jamie, you're going to host the show. I'm going to do a K-bar dab. Ready, go. I love doing this to people.
Anyway, Jonathan said yes, he did get his wheelchair. He absolutely loves
Oh.
it. It's beautiful. I am so happy, honey. Good.
Awesome. Awesome, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Kevin Spencer says, don't forget to vote. Do it today, please. Everybody, number 1, please vote yes. To stop. I don't know why anybody would be telling people to, but no.
Yeah, an activist telling you to vote no is a whacktivist. Even though I'm friends with some people that are voting no, I love them to death, but they're being wacky right now. They're just being
understand.
wacky.
I do understand it. It's not everything that everyone wants.
It never will be.
But
Gotta fight for that.
you don't say that's not everything I want, so I don't want anything from you.
Right. You're
I
not giving me a
think
million?
At least if you take this and you start here, it's a foundation to start building on. At least it's amending the Constitution.
Yeah, it's a constitutional right to grow. Read that. Read it twice. It's a constitutional right to grow. If I'm wrong, you tell me where I'm wrong. It says it in black and white. Constitutional right to grow and cultivate, it says also, I believe. Whatever. But, the weed man, he's voting no. And everything he says is correct. All the stuff he says is correct, and I agree with him. However, the solution is not to vote no. It's to vote yes and to continue to fight for those things that you have a problem with. Because I agree with all those problems that you talk about.
My thing is right now, if they're vote no, fine. If that's what they're saying, but then what is your next move? You're telling everybody to vote no, and then what? That nothing? So no,
Nothing.
you don't.
No nothing.
No nothing.
No nothing.
Just no and nothing planned after that. No
No nothing.
moves, no shoot your shot, no anything.
Nope.
Just no temper tantrum. That's
Nope.
not what I want. No, and
Nope.
party's over.
Nope.
Go home.
Nope.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Nope.
I don't know.
Dealers voting to put their customers in chains and cages. That's shocking to me.
That is a good meme that you made before. Like, who are you voting with when you think about it in that standard?
You're voting with Kevin Sabet, Kennedy. Who's the other one? Read for Madness. You're voting with them. Not voting with Angela McKnight or Holly or Ken Wolski or Jim Miller. People have been fighting this war for years. People like Jim Miller, who has been fighting this war with his wife for years. And yet we have people that are just like, no, vote no. Vote no. It's going to win by 70%. It's going to be 70% are going to vote for yes. So.
What do you think about Murphy? His little
Yeah.
post yesterday.
What was that all about?
420, it's time. He was who we were transferred to. Yeah, Jerry. I think we're both a little too high. Jonathan, yeah, Jeff is not feeling very well, I think.
Jeff needs my bone broth. That's what he needs. And some love and some prayers. If you want to pray for him, please pray for him. Please. It's important. Prayer is 11% of your recovery. There's a number. They put a number on it.
Oh.
Hello, you're on the air. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is the real governor of New Jersey.
This is the governor of New Jersey?
This is Joseph Rudy Rullo, the only Republican who supports marijuana legalization in the state of New Jersey.
I think you are, Joe. You and Scott Rutter are the only two Republicans voting yes.
But he's definitely a Republican, but he's kind of like not in office anymore, and he's kind of like, an advocate that works for the marijuana industry now. But he's all good,
Joe, you got me on speakerphone. Can you take me off speaker if you're on there, or I can't really hear you too
I'm
well.
on my ear thing. Hold on.
Oh, that might be it.
Is this a little better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Cool.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good. I think that, it's going to definitely pass. I want to make sure that, I hope to get you on board with this thought that I think that a lot more people will be behind this if we can get Murphy to commit to a bipartisan committee of, let's say, 2 or 3 Republicans, 2 or 3 Democrats that oversee this and make sure that the money, the revenues, are done properly with. Number one, taking the $10 billion in debt and paying towards that, number one. Number two, community policing, so we don't have to defund police, but actually do community, like people want to do the community policing. And then number three, lowering property taxes, or by giving property rebates back to property taxpayers who've been footing the bill for so many years. That, I think, would bring a lot of people on board. The Republicans don't seem to understand, and I'm going to predict a few things as well, that if they don't get this right, that people are going to buy their first weed at the recreational place, and they're going to use that bag to get underground weed, and they're going to have a bag from a certain place, and where that weed came from, nobody's going to know. That's my prediction. They better get this right. They better allow ample competition, not put a stranglehold to, have major high prices. And they need to, eventually home grow as well. I think that, this is, part of this that I don't like is that it's kind of dictatorial in the sense that we all know it's almost impossible unless you are a California already established business or Colorado, or you are a politically connected or, basically politically connected. You're not getting a marijuana dispensary in New Jersey for recreational. And it's a known fact. And I tell the governor he needs to open this up so Joe Average can start their own, not dispensary, but their own entrepreneurship with this. Not because of race or creed or because of gender. No, anybody should be able to do it that wants to do it. Obviously, they have certain background checks that you have to pass, stuff like that. Obviously, you have to be able to fund it. But, what's the deal? If you want to be a wholesaler, for example, in the middle, or a retailer, there's not going to be much money involved with doing that.
Yeah, I see that. You need to make like products, pretty much, like lotions or people selling just loose weed is not going to be. People want edibles. They want stuff that's ready to use, especially newcomers.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to work if they don't. You know me. I from the very beginning, you were fascinated when you met me. You saw this conservative dude that should be like against weed. And I've called everything from the very beginning, right? And I'm calling it out again and saying that if he does not, if he takes his money and does what we did with, remember, the settlement with the tobacco where they took out a $2.8 billion loan and basically said, okay, payment coming from the tobacco industry, just pay that. And that money never even came and lowered taxes in New Jersey. Well, they got to take this money, they got to lower property taxes, they got to lower the debt, which we have $10 billion worth of it. And they should also put like a third towards, let's say, community policing, basically. And then in addition to that, you've got to make this competitive. If you've got, I'm telling you, from what I heard is confirmed, the application is rigged with hurdles for somebody like you and I, certain things that you have to have that obviously we don't have because marijuana has never been in existence here, but somebody from California or Colorado may have that. Oh, and they're going to have first preferences with legal medical marijuana facilities, which they really shouldn't even mix the two together, if you want my opinion. They should give other people an opportunity. I really, Lefty, I really believe that, this should be an entrepreneurial boom in New Jersey. I believe that nobody should go to jail because of marijuana ever again. And what I want to know, and you might be able to answer this question, what are they going to do if you decide that, you know what, there's only 3 legalized dispensaries for recreational. And all these other drug dealers, what are they now going to be? That's what they call them. What are they now going to call anybody dealing marijuana underground? Are they now going to be like, ready? Are they now going to be tax evaders? And are they going to now, like, that's a very serious crime. Is that what they're going to do? Or are they going to arrest them just like before? Or is it just going to be
wow, I
fine?
never thought about that aspect.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something. You know how it works? You try, ready? You try having booze that's not taxed and selling it to a liquor store, you'll have your door kicked in at your house. Okay, with people with guns. Okay, if you try to steal the government's money, you're a drug dealer to them. And if you're selling, behind the scenes, they're not going to put up with that crap. You think the dispensary's not going to rat you out? Right? Of course they're going to. You're their competitor.
That would be their
So my
best
question
angle to
is,
screw
when is-
someone.
Wow. Joe, they killed
And
the.
let me
They
make another prediction.
Go ahead.
Whatever bag it's sold in, dude, people are going to go in the first time, buy that bag, whether it be a quarter, ready? Everybody laughs, so I know it. A nickel, a dime, a quarter, right? An ounce, whatever they buy or a half, whatever they buy, they're going to use that same bag if it's too much money or it's not working out properly. And they're just going to use that bag, and they're going to have that bag, and you can't get arrested if you got it from a legitimate place. Well, how are you going to prove that that quarter is a year old, 2 years old, whatever? No cop's going to know that.
That's called bag shopping. When you go to buy a bag, like you really don't even want the weed probably that's in there, but you go buy the bag because that's what you're supposed to have, and it's your little protection bag, and you can put whatever in there, but it's called bag shopping.
Yeah, you just got to buy the bag once.
Joe.
Or the box, or the vial, whatever they give you.
Joe, should people like New Jersey Weed Man with a record be allowed to sell weed?
Absolutely.
Because he can't. He's a.
Think, of course he should. The freaking guy, he and I and you are the top three people that push this, and all three of us none of us are going to be able to have a business if we wanted one.
Well, he can't get one
This
because
is about
he's
freedom and liberty, man. This is all it's about. I'm a conservative, but I have libertarian views, very, liberty-minded, and I believe that this is an economic boom that everybody and anybody who wants to do it legitimately and within the parameters of the law, but there shouldn't be applications and financial challenges that are, beyond, something that somebody can deal with. You follow? I'm sure they're going to go after him for, some of the, stupid things that he got, that should even have made it to court, They're probably going to hold that against him with the licensing,
Yeah, he can't get a license because he's convicted from years ago, I believe. So the CRC, the Cannabis Regulatory Commission, is not going to give him a license unless they decide to. Who was on this commission, by the way? Who are these 5 people? Did they even vote on these people yet?
Nope. And I'm going to tell you that, it'll probably be, hopefully he'll mix it. He should put somebody like me on it, that is absolutely going to be, what's the word? I'm going to be painfully honest about it. I'm going to be like a pain in the ass the whole time. I'm going to be listening to people like you. I'm also going to be balancing it with people that are not like us, that are like politicians, and then, and people that aren't for it. What do we want out of this? How do we make a balance? What do we have to do, right, to make you guys cooperate with this and to see the good that this is going to bring this state? This is the balance that they have. And, just because this thing gets approved in November doesn't mean anything. It just could take 2 or 3 years. In fact, the new governor could get elected and decide not to implement this. I can tell you Jack Ciattarelli is completely against marijuana legalization.
Well, he's ignorant.
Oh, by the way, what's up with our buddy, and I don't want to call him out, but I guess I'm going to indirectly. He's against legalization.
Who?
And yet he gets medical marijuana, right?
Who?
If I'm not mistaken, the one with the store. Is that him?
Who?
Yeah, maybe the one with the store.
What kind of store?
What store?
Somebody who we've worked with in the past, and I was shocked to see he's like really, really coming out against the legalization bill. And I'm like, you know what? This is all you got. What else we got? Nothing.
I don't know.
They're never gonna. What's the word? They're never gonna decriminalize marijuana. Never. It's not gonna happen because the legislature is incompetent, and they won't do what the people want.
You're not talking about the weed man. I mean, he's voting no, but you're not talking about him, though.
Who?
New Jersey weed man, Edward Fortune.
No. I know he's not him. Wayne, is it? Right?
Well, yeah, he's like a typical Republican. Is because you're the black sheep Republican.
Is that who, right? He's against legalization, right?
Well, I believe.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it with my eyes. I'm like, okay, you smoke, and you're on video all the time smoking, and like you get it because you're medical. So now you want to take it away from me because it's going to be recreational? That's not fair.
No,
There's a lot of things that don't make sense and that are not fair.
Yeah, there's a lot of lies going around.
Well, I mean, I just saw a couple of his videos. I thought I was seeing things. But I understand he has reasons for it. I think, like you said, he's Republican, but so am I, right? And, like, legalization is, like, once it gets in, people are mostly worried about, just so you know, Lefty, how they're going to spend the money. And that's why I'm saying up front, if Murphy wants to do this right, do 1/3 for property taxes, whether you give a lower property taxes or you're going to give a property tax rebate from the revenue. 2, just like, hey, Alaska gives you like a freaking check every month from the proceeds from the oil. Give the homeowners a check or whatever, or give them a property tax reduction, a rebate or either a rebate or a reduction in property taxes. And then 2, community policing. You could totally, Black Lives Movement would love this, to put money into community policing, plus all the money that we're going to save from lack of marijuana arrests, lack of court costs for marijuana, all that other stuff could be all directed to community policing like they want to do and educating, like that kind of stuff. And then the third, which I said before, was, making sure that, we don't take the money and like we did with the Exxon, well, I don't remember where the settlement was, but it was some kind of a environmental disaster where there was a bunch of money that came in, as well as the cigarette tobacco, right? When New Jersey sued for all the people in the hospitalizations, all that money, it was already spoken for because they went out and they got a loan for more money than what that damn amount was for. And then that monthly payment for that settlement that came in from the tobacco, we're still paying it, but the damn tobacco settlement is paying it. But we never got to see a dime of that. And I don't want that to happen with the marijuana fund. And I can see why. That's why people are voting against this, just so you know.
Speaking of big tobacco, do you see big tobacco getting into the cannabis industry?
Oh, yes, I do. And that's why I'm saying, Lefty, you could be you're a good activist with Murphy. You should tell Murphy, man, you know what? This can go south really fast. Let's say this gets passed, and I start to find out the bullshit that usually goes on. If I find out that there's like family members, friends, political people that have nothing to do with marijuana, that don't know anything about it, and people like Weed Man, you, whoever, are getting excluded out of this, okay, number 2, if I find out that the money's being squandered, in other words, let me rephrase it. I find out that every entrepreneur doesn't have an opportunity. And I know it's happening because the application is very difficult. And they have parameters in it that are devised to block people like you, me, Weed Man, or any normal person, right? It's all people with huge money or past experience with some kind of an already. But number 2 is like, if he doesn't do this bipartisanship line, if this committee doesn't have eyes, let me tell you something. He might not be governor next year. If, 21 is coming. And this could take a lot longer than 21 to get through.
Hold on, Joe. I think
Especially the pandemic, you know?
I think Pat Duff wants to come on with you. Hold on. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I tell you, Pat Duff is calling out Chief Zembrowski, Mary Pat Angelini, Stephen Reed. They were all in collusion together with this RAMP or SAM or this New Jersey Goes to Pot group, whatever the hell it's called. And Pat Duff found all the emails. So I think Chief Zembrowski is going to have to resign because he's going against the wishes of everybody, including the chiefs that want legalization. You know how many chiefs that want to smoke weed with me, Joe? All of them. They don't want to smoke weed with me when it's legal.
I know a couple politicians that are singing your song. We ain't got no weed here. We ain't got no weed here.
Yeah, man. That was effective last year.
I don't know how you memorize all those sounds.
It took a while. A lot of weed. Repetition.
Go ahead, ready? I'll do the background music. You do the towns, and I'll go, we ain't got no weed here.
Okay. Ready?
Yep, go ahead.
Barnegat, Berkeley, Bridgeton, Bridgewater, Brigantine, Callstadt, Chatham, Clifton, Cranberry, East Rutherford, Elmwood Park, Emerson, Fairhaven, Freehold, Garfield, Hasbrook Heights, Hawthorne, Lavallette, Lodi, Jamesburg, Hazlitt, Mawa. Come on, Joe.
We ain't got no weed here. We ain't got no weed here. We ain't got no weed here. We ain't got no weed here.
Keep your cancer home, dear. That's right. Keep your wheelchairs at home.
I'm telling you, I know, I'm not going to say, whatever, but I know a couple of people that are actually elected that were, like, literally laughing and singing and humming that song.
We got a few of them. I think Murphy heard it. I think Governor Murphy was even
Yeah, a
in.
couple other towns, too. Did you come in with the bomb?
Oh, with the Bongholio was the best. That was amazing. A lot of fun.
Yeah, you did a great job, though, and people should remember, because you went to almost every damn council meeting around. That's not my, that was never my real specialty. I pushed this on the internet, on shows. As you see, I've been on a lot of different TV and different publications pushing the marijuana over the last several weeks. I'm not afraid to say I'm for it. I'll go down by the sword, but I'm confident that the Republicans, all 21 of our county chairmen, including your Jose Arango over there, they all came out against marijuana.
Arango is worthless.
Oh yeah, I see that he's picking on Mike Alonzo, the only winner that he's ever had in Hudson County.
Unbelievable, that guy.
Well, and I don't have to tell you, he admitted that he was a damn Democrat to you, and when he was attacking me, and you reported him, it was the funniest thing. I still can't believe you reported him bad mouthing me.
Well, he's a phony. He's a friggin' fraud, man. I hate that. I can see where the fraud is.
There's a lot, listen, why do you think he keeps his job? He's in a Democrat Hudson County. How do you think he keeps his job? He sells out the Republicans.
I never seen nothing like it until I got involved in council meetings and politics, and it's ugly, Joe. I don't know how you do it without getting shit on you, because it's ugly out there.
Yeah, he's stuck in the 80s.
Well, you take a lot of heat. You take a lot of heat yourself too, because you got to defend Trump. I mean, you defend Trump. I don't know how you can defend him. Some of the stuff he does.
Well, you know what it is? I defend the platform, and I ignore what people. Nobody's perfect in this world, and I just ignore anything. This country, there's so many things going on that. Worried about what somebody says or that, somebody does or, that people are offended. You know what? Life is about, focusing on, serving others. And, this president has had 47 years. Let me rephrase it. This president has watched 47 years of nothing by Biden and is probably very frustrated, that in 47 months he's done a real lot. He can't control a cold or a virus or anything, right? Let alone COVID. And, he's trying to do his best that he possibly can. He immediately shut down the borders, and they were calling him xenophobic for doing that. If he didn't close down the borders, there would have been even more problem. Number two, He shut the whole damn government down. His whole economy crashed. But he did it because he loves America, and he was, he really bought in, that this could really be bad. We better take off 2 weeks. But after 2 weeks, he realized that we can't shut down America. That, the economy and people's lives will also be lost if we don't, move on. That doesn't mean, and I said this from the beginning, Lefty, that we have to balance, right? This was the biggest challenge of our lifetime, and we're failing, okay? And what's the balance? It's, ready? Giving people the right to their health and their life while balancing their liberty. And we're doing one or the other. We either are like, everybody's got to wear a mask or else we're going to arrest you and take away your business and this and that. And then the other side is like, oh, well, I don't really care if you're sick. I'm still going to not wear a mask. Or I'm going to still come by you. We have to have respect for one another, and we have to come to some sort of a, some kind of a, medium, together on this. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think we will. It has to. We're so divided right now. And I always say, Joe, you're a Christian, and I always say there's no left or right. There's only an up or down. And I don't subscribe to the Republican Jesus at all. I just don't. I believe in the socialist, couch surfing, government rabble-rousing Jesus. That's the Jesus I believe in, the one who fed the poor. This Republican Jesus that people are spouting, and I see it in my church, man. I see how it's politically divided in my church. It's shocking to me how we can all believe in God and want to help others, but we have two very different ways of getting there. And I hope that we can all come together someday.
I think what drives them nuts about me is that I'm a solid conservative Republican, other than marijuana. So like I can do it, and it works. And you know what? I think that marijuana is the most Republican thing you could possibly do in New Jersey to help the economy, to stop people from going to jail, to give people liberty. And the other thing is, look at the Old Testament. The thing that God told us not to touch was an apple. It sure to hell wasn't a bud or a leaf.
No, it talks about leaves of healing. If you Google leaves of healing in the Bible, it's in Ezekiel, it's in Revelation. You'll find it in there. That's what we had. That's what we used for thousands of years.
I mean, hey, look, frankincense and myrrh. They could make that illegal. Oh, it makes you think different.
Yeah.
And those are real biblical type oils. They're the same thing, come from a plant, right?
Makes you want to kill your brother. Yeah, we heard that already.
The what?
They said marijuana makes you want to kill your brother.
Let me tell you, I say this all the time. I have 3 interviews this week so far, and I said to somebody, have you ever heard of a guy, better yet, have you ever heard of a guy saying, my girlfriend or my wife beat me because she was so high on marijuana? No, you hear them saying they were so drunk. Number 2, you don't hear about somebody shooting up a bar or shooting anywhere that's smoking too much pot. The last thing somebody's going to do is go shooting people when they're stoned or smoking marijuana.
They're on pharmaceuticals,
okay?
Joe. They're on pharmaceuticals. What? They're all on big pharma, pharmaceuticals.
Of course, like Rick Mata, the guy who's running for U.S. Senate against Booker, and Booker is just as bad as him. They're both pharmaceuticals.
Joe, how come Booker has more of a vote than I do? How come, as a superdelegate, his vote counts more than mine? How come? How is that fair?
It's ridiculous.
Why is that?
Well,
the system sucks.
We squandered the opportunity to remove him by, running this guy Rick Mata.
Oh, I don't care. No, I don't care about that. I'm talking about the system where like these super delegates get these votes, and their votes count more than my vote. Like all our votes should be equal, but then there's a group of people, these elite aristocracy, that gets votes that mean more than our votes.
Yep, you're talking about the Electoral College.
Exactly. What is that all about, and how do we stop this bullshit?
It's not going to, because it's part of the it's part of, the beginning of time, as far as, us as a nation and a country. And you're talking about changing it to the popular vote, and I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, realistically, you know what I mean?
Oh, Pat Duff has his article out, Joe. We're going to read it for you here in a minute. So we're going to go read this article. Do you have a website or something we can promote for you? Book? Writing a book yet? What happened? Did we lose him? I think we lost him. Oh, he's here. Joe? Joey?
Hello?
Hey, what happened? Joe?
It just went in and out for some reason.
Oh, do you have a website or something to promote?
Yeah, people could go to Joseph Rudy Rullo on Facebook and like my page. I think we're like 5,000 or 6,000 shy of 400,000 followers.
Oh, man. Well, thank you, Joe.
You got it. God bless, man. I just wanted to say great job, and, you know.
Whoops.
Do you have a website or something?
Okay.
Joe's to start these, take it easy.
Thanks, Joe. Take care. And Jim Miller's on the line. Jim Miller, you got to turn your computer down so we can hear you. And I'm going to find your picture here because I think I have a picture of you somewhere.
I'm trying to get that volume up. What's up, man? You're on here.
You're on the air. There we go. Look at that handsome guy. Wow. With the hat on. You got Jim with the hat on. Did I say that right? Look at Jim with his hat. Oh, what? Hey, I didn't do that. Hey, whoa, hey, I didn't do that. I did not do that. Uh-oh. I'm gonna let this go. But I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing that.
Relax. How are you, Jim?
Jim, can you hear me? He's there.
Oh, barely. Started, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
Oh, well, my story's pretty damn good. How about you?
Well, you sound horrible. Are you on speakerphone or you have headphones or what do you?
No, I'm holding the phone right up in front of my face. I have headphones on.
You might be a little.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you might
I can hear you.
be. You might be too close. Put the phone away from your face a little bit. A little bit.
How's that?
It's a little better. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that really?
Little
It
more.
is better.
Another few more inches.
Away or towards me?
That's good. That's good. Oh man.
Oh,
Jim.
I'll try to. I'll long say it. Hold on.
What is happening? Sorry,
No, you gotta
Jim.
speak loud and clear.
Lefty's putting your picture up on
Yeah.
the screen, and the system itself is deciding to switch between your picture and Jeff
Ah.
Oaks.
Okay, now I can hear you now. I'm not on the. I don't have my headphones in, so I'm just using the phone like a phone.
And it actually sounds better on this end as well.
Much better. And I put your picture up.
And by the way, as I say, I'm just using the phone like a phone now. I learned the lesson I might as well pass on, is that if you look at the time on your phone, you know how you pick up a phone and it just sort of turns on by the motion and I can see the time? My clock in my car is not accurate, so I picked up the phone to look at the time, and I got a ticket for using a handheld device as I was coming to a stop. Like, as I stopped, I looked at it, and it didn't matter. So, hey, look, check, I haven't been texting, haven't been doing nothing. So anyway,
Tell to the
I
judge.
gave my answer about how I'm doing. I'm not doing good, now I'm kind of pissed off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm kind of freaked out. I put your picture up, and it's showing your picture that's here, but going out, it's flashing to Jeff Oaks.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's because I've been thinking about him a lot today. I don't mind that at all. Makes me feel like I'm right next to him.
other than that, your next podcast on Thursday will be after the legalization vote.
In Trenton, it will be a food and clothing giveaway, which is probably the best thing we've ever done on Thanksgiving here on the podcast. I really enjoy just helping those people. Just the fact that someone in a wheelchair came up 2 years in a row was the first person was in a wheelchair. It just means something to me. It's not a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence Jeff's picture is flashing up here right now.
I had a hard time hearing whatever you were saying, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, your phone's a little wonky today. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but sometimes it sounds like that when you're talking. That kind of sounds like that sometimes to me. That's why I usually use earphones.
Oh, I miss the old landlines, man. I miss I even missed the dial. I like the dial.
Want me to call you back on the landline when you do that?
Sure, that's even better.
All right.
Okay, cool.
I'll call you right back.
Thanks. Yeah, there you go. Let's try that.
Hey, Wednesday. Good afternoon. She says, hey.
Hey, Wednesday.
Is this what everybody's seeing?
That's what they're seeing. They're seeing this. We don't
And
see it
we're
here.
just seeing
We don't see it
just
here.
Jim Miller.
It's freaking me out because I don't know why this happens. It's very random. So I think it means for you to pray for Jeff. Every time you see Jeff on the screen, take a hit and then take a prayer. Give a prayer.
How is that doing that, though? It's
I
not
don't
even
know.
in the preview.
It's freaking me out. I don't know why it does that. It's freaking me out, man. Because he's not doing well. He's been better. He's had better days. So we're trying to do what we can for him. Making him bone broth and making him some stuff this weekend. And okay, this is here we go. This must be Jim Miller. All right, Jim, can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me? Jim? Hold on, we'll do it this way. Hello, Jim? 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 I don't hear you. I don't have you on my system. I have you on my phone here. I don't hear you. Jim. Jim Miller. What the heck? I don't hear you at all. Can you hear me? It's weird.
Nothing happening.
So weird. I don't know what that was all about. Oh, shit. Jim, please call us back. We'll try again in a minute. Rabble Rouser, if you go to Rabble Rouser, Pat Duff has his story out, and it's a good one. All right, Jim, we'll try it again. All right, Jim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to try to put you through the system. Hold on.
There's technological regression going on here. Got to get a landline.
All right. Jim, can you hear me now? Jim? Jim? So hurtful.
Hold on. Can you hear us?
Jim? No, he can't hear us. All right, no, we have to do it this way. All right.
I'm gonna be in here. It's just
We got you. Now we'll do this way.
I'd rather you didn't.
Your phone
Okay,
wasn't.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm back with you.
We're good. Where were we? I don't even know where.
Where were we?
Jesus.
I was about to tell you I became as fully medicated as I've been in a couple of weeks, so get what you can.
What do you go without each month to afford your medical cannabis?
Oh, wow. Pretty much everything. I spend money on gas to get where I need to go. And that's pretty much it, except for seeing what my minimum cost can be for buying medicine. So I'm exploring rationing and kind of. So I'm going without feet without pain. It's like a double negative of sorts, But see, the thing, I'm not going with anything I can't handle. It's actually moderately motivating. Because the first thought always is, I would have had a crop in a couple of weeks ago if I could have had a 4-plant crop, So, legalization is going to happen. You say 70%. I like that. I think it's going to be less, but still significant. And I think we owe that to the surrounding states, who at first will be able to come over here and consume cannabis without fear of being arrested. And, of course, they're going to want that in their states. But if it gets ushered in with a really good plurality of votes, it's that in itself sends a message. But I am having a problem with Scutara referring to, we may even be able to just like flick a switch and get sales going immediately, like as if to say, like in November, by the end of November. You do know that, right?
I hadn't heard that.
You hadn't heard that? Yeah, well, Joanne posted somewhere where he used that phrase, just flick a switch. And apparently, they have to pass a law because the constitutional amendment gives them the right to pass this law, and they're gonna. And well, one, like you were saying, though, nonetheless, the wording of the ballot initiative means that home grow has a very front row place in being discussed during that process. Should have been worded a little more specifically if they didn't want to invite that. So that will be interesting. But the flick a switch thing, hey, has anybody ever delved into, if that happens, and of course it's legal, and there'd be some sort of assurance that it wouldn't affect patient supply, and, the supply's already been infected. It's never been straight yet. So I don't know how you compare something that's never been saying we can keep that up. You can't say that. It's not that
it's
now.
Never been there.
No, it hasn't.
Ridiculous.
It's never been what it could be. And but with all that, it just seems Scutari is going to want to beat his drum on what he wants to happen immediately after it passes. Maybe you get a shot at getting him on your show next Thursday, because your viewers are actually his new constituency now. Once this passes, he's going to be speaking directly to people like that. So I just like stick a needle up his ass somehow, man. Get him to do something right, Well, listen, it started out, honestly, in my head, it morphed from sit on a pen, just feel a little pain. And all of a sudden it was sticking a needle up, I'm not kind of angry. I don't like that. I don't like feeling like this, but it's maddening that he was the one who, really probably didn't have much towards bargaining home grow out of his original bill, which he had no trouble passing, and actually saying that we'd have to deal with this later. Later's over a decade now. It's really disconcerting, and he's never been a friend of mine. Actually, that was his doing. It's almost like I don't know, like somebody said, stay away from Jim or something. I don't know, and that's cool with me because we really, that's what Ken's for. So, I love your show about what was going on with the wheelchair access. That part, I was watching that, and it's a good. Having been in a wheelchair myself for 7 months.
So yeah, you've been there.
I do have an idea. I do have an idea.
It's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling at all.
Yeah, it was a humbling experience, And my only regret was one time when I went to Parks Casino. Of course, I could play slot machines on the end. My feet were sticking straight out. But they were having a Halloween contest the next week. And I had the external fixation device in my foot and ankle, And I had a wheelchair, and I was doing infusions myself of vancomycin. And, I could have shown up and just been myself and won a $5,000 prize. I, without a costume, was a better costume than the people that were in that contest. Anyway, relevant to your podcast, that's the side effects of if you don't get medicated until a certain part of the day. The first medication is like absolutely stunning, even on a smaller amount. That's fact. So anyway, will adult use prices at dispensaries be the same as patient prices? I have a question for you. That's it. You ever heard about that? I mean, people, it's going to come through dispensaries. Adults will be buying the same product that patients are, or the price is going to be the same.
I'm kind of wondering, too, there's not going to be competition. They're all really in bed together, selling each other's stuff. And
yeah, they are. They're selling each other's cannabis.
Yeah. So it seems like patients are really, really set up to come in last again. Why would I think any worse? Tell me one time anything was ever done with let's do this for patients and work backwards from there and satisfy as much of other people's concerns as we can. However, their concerns will not change the fact that this is what we're doing. It's always like, okay, this is what we'd like to do. Now let's satisfy all people's concerns first. Not, irrespective of patient input and real information. So, I expect really no different. But I'm noodling with a plan. It's not a new concept. Listen, you have maybe a million new people eligible to go to one of the dispensaries they can go to, and you have 90,000+ patients, which means there's going to be an influx of 10 times the amount of people eligible to go buy product now. That will increase tenfold when Scutari, as he says, flips that switch. When they guarantee it won't affect patients, and I think we know what that's worth, meaning nothing. So my idea is, after all patients have been guaranteed and never heard from again, in the beginning they're going to establish a price for recreational use. And if it's gonna be the same as patients, well, there's going to be a problem. I mean, a big public relations problem, something else. So my suggestion would be, before that price is established, take into account that it should knock down the price for patients down to 25% of whatever it is at that time. And then when you transfer that 75% that the dispensaries now would not be charging patients, they pass that on to the overall original recreational price. The bottom line is the same for the dispensary. The state actually makes more money because there's only, 2 or 4% tax on medical marijuana now. If that was more bought by the recreational side, subsidy-wise, the state would actually get more sales tax under that plan, just a little bit, but you know how greedy they are. They want that last penny, too. So there shouldn't be any logical objection except for the recreational market that would, this could add up to $20 per ounce from whatever big price they're getting charged anyway. Those who don't know a good black market source, which is really going to be most people's choice. So my point is that if it raised it $20, that's the cost of entry. You flick a switch into a system that patients lived and died for and weren't served properly for a decade. And now if there's any chance of making that as right as possible for patients' incomes, 10 times the amount of people to feed from their table, now it's going to cost you 20 goddamn bucks per ounce. I think that'd be fair. And then you say to patients, welcome back, here's your new price list, and instead of $100 for an ounce, it would be a quarter, it would be $25 for patients. How do you like that?
Are patients still going to get taxed?
That's going to go away.
Well, it doesn't, the bottom line of the dispensary is everything else is pretty much the same. It's just an accounting thing where it's a fee for using the current system. I mean, that's how it works in business. If you have a studio and you let somebody record there, it's not free, there's a price. So I think the price of admission should be getting the patients a price that still is a lot. But, the argument could be made, somebody like me might get the cost down to 25% of what I've been charged all along. So that also, I don't know, it's an immediate thing for somebody. My goal, by the way, isn't success with the program. I think you know me well enough by now. My goal would be to have an idea that really was well thought out, because it's not going to happen anyway. Somebody will say no. And then that's the person I want to, whose life I want to make miserable then, So, yeah, I changed my original answer. I don't feel too good right now. Too much going on. I got my vote in. And, hey, tonight I think it is. Actually, Nick Scutari is taking place in something, Zoom meeting, where Dan put it up. He's going to be one of the, and Charlene from New Jersey Normal, and then Nick Scutari and somebody else, So I believe if you go to that Zoom meeting, you get to type in questions, I would think, if that's how it's going to work. I don't know if you knew about that.
I'm trying to look at this now on Lefties. I believe Joanne Zito shared it today at 7 p.m. I'm not able to see it. It's today at 7 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock tonight. Is the time for it. It's Joanne had a post on Facebook up about that. But I'm technically having my problems even getting on there. I think I got that solved though.
Yeah, I found it. Cannabis question 1, decriminalization and economic justice.
Yeah, and one of the things that I don't know if it's on the on that. I believe I don't know if home cultivation, something that really fit into what they're talking about is fair game to. Scutari doing this, I'm not sure he's going to be ready for a simple question like, will the price be the same for sick and dying people and people who want to have fun? If it's at the same dispensary, or will be two separate price structures in? See, that's the first part of my plan, finding that out. What's he going to say? Oh, I haven't thought about that. Well, then, what the hell are you doing having anything to do with it? You should have thought of it.
Jerry says, will recreational supply eat into medical supply? Will patients get better quality meds? I think whoever will pay more will probably get the better quality, right?
I would guess. I don't know. I'm not. Funny thing is there was a time when I would have been considered having more than adequate knowledge of growing because I did, and that was now long enough ago that I am in awe of, on a website for growers, because in states where it's legal, they can have a website for growers, and it's just really cool, like seeing all the things they're talking about, getting ready for home cultivation by patients. I mean, it would be really stupid if I didn't know what to do, right?
I was talking to someone else too.
And I do like Weedman's idea of, what did he call it? Patient Day on Saturday or something like that. He's going to be offering, once it's legal. And legalization does provide people, I think, the opportunity to do what patients are doing now, which is to buy where you need to buy and then have all the paperwork for having bought that, according to state standards. And that offers protection. Actually, it offers protection to the people who were voting no for it, will be offered that protection now. Isn't that ironic? I mean, doing exactly what other people will be doing. So, we can all gather and take advantage of better prices. And I don't know, I think it's kind of, again, ironic that Weedman's offering Scutari competition, open competition. That's pretty good. I'll probably be there one Saturday, because when it was theory, it was one thing, but now it's not theory that if the last thing I purchased was at Weedman's place, I wouldn't be as run out as I am. So I obeyed the law, and I'm in pain that I really don't need to be in. Having been in incredible pain for as long as I was, it's not that kind of pain, but it's there. And it makes me go, oh, in the middle of sentences, so I'm guessing that's pain. And so I guess I could be the walking advertisement for obeying the law. They say, here's your brain, and it's an egg, and here's your brain on drugs, and they smash it. It'd be like, well, here's your foot, and here's my foot not on drugs, and then show all the aftermath of the accident. Smash an egg over somebody's head. I don't know.
I'm gonna find those pictures of your foot. I think you sent them to me with your pin sticking out. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what they do is they say, do we have your permission to put a couple of pins in, when you're going into like a sixth operation?
They were big.
Now, what does that tell you? I mean, I've been in the hospital for months, and all right, put some pins in. I woke up and saw that.
Those are not pins. Those are railroad ties.
Yeah, I put a little, one of William Haney's, the smallest little flags that he had. I fixed one to the foot thing in the hospital, so it was flying. Anyway, it's and my problem isn't that it makes me angry because I have any kind of pain right now. I know people, and certainly knew people, where pain was far greater than this. It was going to get better before it gets worse, and it's happening there too. And that just makes me angry even thinking about it for a second right now. I got to keep blinders on. This is why I don't. I enjoy the time I was off Facebook the last 6 weeks or so, and pretty much as I can be, because I felt great. Now I don't feel great, but the opportunity is now, and the Monday after election is my own personal starting gate. That's a couple of days to sort out some of the aftermath of Tuesday. But Troy Singleton's guy that I go through, I just sent him an email. Dave Smith, that's a real name, warning him that he was going to get an email from me Monday, and it would be best for Troy Singleton if it got an immediate response. You know, it would look best for the beginning of the record. You know, this is like now that it's patience time. We weren't allowed to talk about this until legalization was voted on because saying the words home grow might muddy the waters for people voting. You know, like they'd hear home grow and maybe vote against it because they thought that was, and it wasn't. It just be for that's why I got a 6-week vacation. It's like if there's going to be nothing going on, I'll see you then. So now it's then, and I basically I don't know. It's I have time to gather. Have email contact with other people in his district, and I don't know. I'm going to start by any time I email my legislator or anybody's to have it CC'd to people in his district who are constituents. So it's like somebody else is watching, you know, and they know that. They don't have to reply to all, just to do that and little things, but the impending doom of patients supply due to 1 million renegades storming the gates and breaching the defenses and getting into the dispensary, you know.
So wait a minute.
And,
so we'll have 2 2-hour lines. We'll have 2-hour lines, but there'll be 2 of them now.
But the thing is, they do have a Curaleaf. They do have a line for old people. Get in first between 8 and 9 o'clock. So I go Sunday morning because it's a great quick drive there. Everybody's in a relatively good mood there, and there's maybe 25, 30 people, including me, in the line that goes in the main door waiting to go in a few at a time. And then there's a line that starts at the other side of corner of the building and going down the far side on a public sidewalk. So when I'm done, I get to hand out and discuss this with everybody in line before they even move at 9 o'clock. I mean, it's a great time. It's a captive audience. They're on a public sidewalk. There's nothing anybody can do about it. I get to hand out and talk to what I want, who I want. So I'll be starting that Sunday morning after the election. And I'll be chronicling that and suggest that that's a good way to get to patients. So I'm getting together a killer little handout for them, give them something to think about. And I'm betting the coalition will pay for the copying costs.
Jim, Patrick Duff is asking, where are you located?
Where am I located?
Yep.
Oh, at the moment I'm in Mount Laurel. My actual address is in Toms Riverville. See, I can't even get that straight. Where I am, or where I am. Yeah, that happens with my medical records too. But yes, it's going to be interesting, and I'm glad it's going to be a good vote. And I got to wonder how many out-of-state license plates we'll see at dispensaries when adult use is available. Because, I mean, there they are. It's pretty easy to tell, you know. And I say welcome. I mean, I like that. If it's the other way around, it'd be pretty cool. It's not, you know, loving the protections. I'm loving that there's going to be a lot less money spent on everything it takes to mess with people who enjoy cannabis. So no matter how it's done, people are going to bitch about it. But I got to tell you, being 68 and watching, you know, from actually my 50th anniversary of first using cannabis is Thanksgiving. And it was Thanksgiving in 1970 as well. So that's pretty cool. Guess who's going to get really medicated on Thanksgiving?
This guy over
Me.
here.
50th anniversary. Everybody else left North Carolina State because it's a state college, and they went home for Thanksgiving, and I stayed because I wasn't coming back to New Jersey, and Winston Rogers stayed because he had nowhere to go home to, and he came in and with a big smile on his face and said, I want to talk to you. I know you're going to like this. And, yeah.
Hey, Jim.
Smiling now. That's the best thought I've had all day.
Patrick commented, I will be bringing him some meds.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What a mensch. That's great. Jerry.
Yeah. Well, I do have some cookies, and they are actually really good, homemade. When I did have enough money to buy some small bud and get my 20% discount for being a poor person, to get a half an ounce and have somebody who knows how turn it into some killer peanut butter cookies. And
Ooh, do you want to know what I do with peanut butter?
Ooh. Ooh.
No.
Yeah, that's the problem is they're actually like too good. It's and obviously for conservation's sake, I don't delve into how much can Jimmy do because Jimmy is a pig. I've explored those limits long ago, and actually, there's a guy named Chad Ray. We call him Chad Berry because he made amazing candy, and this is going back 20 plus years. He first came to an Al Gore protest I had in 2000, and what he made was amazing, and he gave me a box. And between Gary Stork and me and Cheryl and Jackie, we had a big box of candy, and we consumed it because there were two of them, Cheryl and Jackie were like in wheelchairs, so they didn't need to walk, and Gary and me needed something to lean on. That'd be the back of a wheelchair. We were perfect. Yeah, it was an amazing experience having. I couldn't even guess how much for edibles. Problem was that his candy was too good, so.
Peanut butter,
anyway,
I like to get natural and let the oil separate from the peanut butter. And with natural peanut butter, it doesn't take very long, maybe a couple of weeks sitting in a cool, dark cabinet. And then infusing the oil, and then you combine the oil back with the peanut butter.
Yeah, I love it. I got to get better at doing that too. But that's the kind of thing that you do with growing your own. You can take the shade leaves and get something out of that. You can use the whole plant. I got to think that's the last thing I need to do. I can't imagine being active in much of anything after that as much as there will need to be done. And the funny thing about legalization is no matter how it happens, there's going to be a segment of people really railing against it who use this, will be consumers. And, I like when it translates into action like you and a lot of people who are active about it, but I guess why I don't like Facebook sometimes is it's like I say, if you bitch about a problem and you find what you think is a solution and you try to get it done, that's being kind of an advocate for something. And if you are active, you're an activist. That's what it is. So that's fine. But if it defines it, activist. But if you bitch about something and keep bitching about it and do absolutely nothing about it to make it better, nothing at all, if all you're doing is bitching, all you are is a bitch. I mean, that's by definition. I'm not calling anybody the B word. I'm just saying by definition. And I don't know. It takes too much of my brainwave, even considering how that happens when it's everybody going the same direction ultimately. And nuances, shouldn't really derail anything. I'm not, and you know what? I'm not saying home grow for social use is not a nuance. That's something that really needs to be. But you need to figure out how the state's going to get money somehow, or it's just not going to happen. It's New Jersey, you know that. So, but anyway, patient home grow has to happen before social use. That's just the nature of it. Patient use happened a decade before impending social adult use. So I think everybody, including social use adults, should help patients get the right to grow, because then maybe less than 10 years later, it will be there for everybody. But it makes no sense to not help patients something you want to get for yourself. It's a bad look, too, you know. I'll fight for my right to smoke some weed, but I'm not going to help patients get it first. That's wrong. Hey, you know, but maybe I'll get some headway on getting that question asked of Nick Scutari. Question with my suggestion. Only I'll probably use a different number, like cut it in half the current cost. You know. So.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you and CMMNJ. You guys have supported the podcast for years. Thank you for all your support and help over the years. It's been 6 years we did this. 6 years, man.
It's always unanimous, but I got to tell you, it's always suggested by Ken. I don't have to bring it up. You know, so credit where credit is due.
Thanks, Jim. Awesome, man. So what's the website? cmmmnj.org. And is there anything else? Anything else we can promote?
Say again?
Anything else to promote? You got a book to sell yet? No.
Not yet, but I'm writing the first. It'll be like, threaded through certain adventures. There's enough to actually make a book, and it was suggested to me by somebody who goes to a writer's club. So I agreed I'd write up a paragraph on something, and that he could edit it to his heart's content. So that's the long part, editing, But, yeah. And that should be fun. So I'll be starting with...
should I hang up on Jim?
Do I do it? Years,
do I do it? Do I do it?
Up until 1999, where we could not find one advocate or activist other than Pete Christopher and John Pease.
Pete Christopher.
But they were former activists, yet good for work. But, to have that to be the only people we knew to do things on up through getting arrested in Washington, and we had help because it wasn't New Jersey, and so we were able to do things elsewhere. But it took that long, and like gatekeepers, So somehow when I stand outside the dispensary and look at it, and I remember then, bad as it is, I see people smiling there. They're happy they're going to get whatever it is that helps them. Usually they're older. That's the fun part, I'm middle-aged there.
Can I ask you a question?
Hey, listen, man, thanks for everything.
Can I ask you a question?
Jamie and Lefty, you guys had, I think, a really good podcast today. I had to do a couple other things, but I was able to keep the voice on and back and forth a little bit. And, it looked good. Like I typed in, very professional.
Watch this.
Quite aware that you can't exchange too much facial expression when somebody's gonna look back and see how something went. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say.
Were you planning on going up to Trenton, Jeff, on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I have time to get there for the beginning and to bring stuff there, but I'm gonna have to turn around pretty quick because it looks like Thanksgiving may be shifted to Tom's River. So if that's the case, I'd be there, but I wouldn't be able to help with leftovers. When it's time to close up, you'd need a different plan.
Jim, I was going to ask you a question and hang up, but nobody wants me to hang up on you. Jeez. You know how I ask a question, I'm like, hey, Jim, how old are you? And you're like, that's it. And I love that. I just love doing that. It's just funny to me.
So what's the question? What?
I don't have a question now. I'm not going to hang up on you. You can hang up on me now. We're over that.
All right, man. Yeah. Who you going to roll with? Lefty.
Who you going to roll with? Who are you gonna roll? See, he hung up on me.
It's not my fault.
He hung up on me.
I keep looking at the flashing picture of Jeff.
I know.
That's why I said Jeff.
It's freaking me out because I'm not doing this on purpose. Trust me. Jeff is just popping up. I gotta end that now.
And Jerry, you're gross.
Jim's the best. What'd I just do? I hate when I do this.
I think Pat's on now.
Yeah, we gotta call Pat Duff, and then we gotta.
I'll open that up.
Show. Yeah, I want to read that story. He's go to Rabble Rouser, and Pat Duff has something up there already about this. This is amazing. All right, let's give him a call. Let's see if my phone system works. All right, I can hear him. Can he hear me? Let's see if he hears us.
Hola.
Hola, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Oh, it's working. See, now
Hey,
it works.
Pat.
Unbelievable. Just talk right into that. Hey, Pat, how are you, buddy?
I didn't even think about it. I actually have my Philly THC shirt on today.
You
I
got
do.
No, wow. Wow, she's wearing
know
Philly
why.
THC. See?
The old.
Wow. Good job. All right, there's
Yeah,
Pat
it's-
Duff right there.
I'm actually going to reopen Philly THC, the church portion, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Nod, wink, wink.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Dude, I haven't even read this Rabble Rouser report. Why don't you read it for me? This is amazing. First of all, thank you for all the work you're doing with OprahMachine.com. When you put somebody in the crosshairs, they should just run away and hide. It's scary.
Well, you know what? I have to thank you for alerting me to that town meeting in Sayreville the other day. Just your persistence to I guess you would call it completely inundate town councils with cannabis knowledge is it's profound. It's like I guess you could call yourself the ultimate cannabis carnival barker at these places. It's just really, so when I got linked into that Zoom meeting the other day, I'd seen
You scared him.
Chief John Zembrowski, putting a lot of comments out based on, cannabis, or the legalization of cannabis, and he's totally against it. But he put those comments out as chief,
Yeah.
And, I said to myself, well, what's behind these comments? Who's got the finger up Chief Zembrowski's ass telling him what to say? And lo and behold, it's none other than the infamous Kevin Sabet.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. See, I don't have on speaker so I could read this, I guess.
Wow.
But so what I did is I did some email or did some Oprahs for Chief Zembrowski, really specific. One of any emails that came from Kevin Sabet, Mary Pat Angelini, former mayor and registered/unregistered lobbyist Stephen Reed, and I didn't get many. I get like 12 pages back, which is like, no, I expected more, but what was there was just so beautiful.
Gold, brother. Gold.
So let's I'll just read this. Hold on one second. I'll get to it here.
Amazing.
I'm
Amazing.
getting old too. All right. I gotta accept my own cookies. Recently released email communications from an Oprah request show that the nation's leading pot crusader, Kevin Sabet, is still calling the shots when it comes to New Jersey's pot prohibitionists. In one of the emails sent by David G. Evans, a New Jersey attorney who specializes in providing legal counseling to rehabilitation facilities, Evans suggests that a new organization be formed called New Jersey Americans Against Legalizing Marijuana to fight the new legalization bill that placed the question on. But wait, what happened to the Caped Crusaders from New Jersey's most vocal anti-pot prohibitionists, New Jersey Ramp? In a separate email that was obtained by Rabble Rouser Media in the same Oprah request, we learned that New Jersey's most outspoken and infamous anti-pot crusader, former Point Pleasant Beach mayor and unregistered/registered lobbyist Stephen Reed, has been, quote, let go because they say there's no money, unquote. In the same email to New Jersey's newest newest anti-pot unregistered lobbyist, Chief Zembrowski, Reed claimed that he thinks, quote, they are giving up, unquote, and wrote, quote, it is very disappointing. The chief wrote back to Reed, quote, I am so sorry to hear this. First, you have been a strong and articulate advocate against legalizing marijuana, and I also know that being such a recognizable figure on the subject created certain hardships for you as well. Ironically and hysterically, many of those hardships were a direct result of reporting by us here at Rowdy Rouser Media on Reed and New Jersey Ramp. Even though Reed claims he was let go, he is still listed on NJ Ramp's website as Ramp's executive director, and I got a big picture of this ugly face. In a separate email that was sent by Sabet in response to an article shared with him that was written by HeadyNJ.com, he makes a couple of very interesting claims. Sabet wrote, hilariously, we receive no support from rehab centers. I wish we did. I'd wear that badge proudly. I don't usually click on HeadyNJ links since they have stalked me and are not journalists. Dan Ulloa of HeadyNJ claims he has never stalked Sabet and only sought comment from him, which he never received. Sabet's claim that they received no support from rehab couldn't be further than the truth. Sabet and Patrick Kennedy claimed to be the founders of NJ Ramp, but they were not. NJ Ramp was actually founded by former Assemblyperson and CEO of Preferred Behavioral Health, Mary Pat Angelini. On the founding documents, which were filed on 11/6/2017, the president and sole incorporator is listed as none other than the anti-cannabis crusading former Assemblyperson, Mary Pat Angelini. The other two listed on the financial documents are Joseph Williams and Robert Zlotnick. Mike's phone went blank there for a second. Both of whom are also heads of New Jersey rehabs, making Sabet's claims even more ridiculous. So, if NJ Ramp is already operational and fighting New Jersey's legalization movement, why the need for this new organization that David Evans suggested? In response by Sabet to David Evans' suggestion about forming a new organization, Sabet warns, I suggest you connect with the existing official committee. Don't let NJ go to pot. Per Greg Edwards, he has already put in a lot of work. I also suggest you study the New Jersey campaign laws, as they are extremely stringent regarding organizations, audits, etc. Kevin, could it be that NJ Ramp doesn't have any more money to pay Reed because they were audited by the NJ Election Commission and forced to disband? We will get that answer soon from a separate request we recently filed with the New Jersey Election Commissions, and we will let you know.
Wow.
Still there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, Sabet is warning, saying that there's these strict, election rules or campaign rules, makes a warning to forming another group because just like the first group, it would have been a sham. And hopefully, and what I'm guessing, since he's warning, is that the next OPA is going to overturn or upturn his any complaints made, which I made complaints, but there's definitely some in there, and but also any audits that were made against Ramp, Mary Pat Angelini, and just so you know, Patrick Kennedy, whose wife is Amy Kennedy, running for Congress here in New Jersey, you know that he also works in the rehab industry. So you had David Evans, who's a lawyer for the rehabs. You have Mary Pat Angelini, who was a CEO of a rehab. And in the email, you have the contact list where they have all the emails CC'd. 17 of them are from rehabs. Yet Kevin Sabet claims to receive no support from the rehab industry. Oh, he is a beaut.
Oh, man.
So, hey, you know what I wanted to do, though? I want you to send me, if you can, text me Jim Miller's address so I can drop him off some meds so he's not without.
Isn't that crazy that patients are going through this, and we can't grow our own, but we can't buy it, so what do?
Gift it.
You gift it, and it's insane.
Yeah, well, listen, New Jersey, what do they have? I think 10 dispensaries. Is that how many they have now?
Including the satellites, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you have 10, right? Do you know, and how old's the law? Is it about 10 years old?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's law is 2 years old. They have 98 dispensaries already. 98. In 2 years, they're able to open 98.
How much does it cost, Pat, to start up a dispensary? What's the startup cost in Pennsylvania?
Well, I mean, you got to have some serious ducats to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give you an example. Maryland, I was just looking into Maryland's fees because I was like, hey, maybe Maryland would be easier. And it's a what do you call it? A $200,000 yearly licensing fee.
Yearly? Ooh.
Yeah, so you gotta, why do you think it costs so much extra for the eighths that you get? Because, there's gangsters in the government that are fleecing the dispensaries. And then the dispensaries also are fleecing patients. Because the truth is, that's a plant.
That's crazy. Does anybody else have like any kind of yearly licensing like that?
Oh yeah, almost every single state. I guarantee New Jersey has it.
But for anything else besides cannabis?
Booze.
Yeah, they have it.
No. You get your liquor
that I can think
license
of.
and you have your ABC beverage control stuff, but you don't buy a license every year.
Oh, it's
Like when
one
a liquor
time.
license in Jersey goes up for sale, it's usually like $1 million
Oh.
because.
Pay to play. It's real.
But that's a
deal, pay to
one
play.
time, not a yearly.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
not yearly. It's not yearly.
It's yearly.
Oh, it is yearly?
Liquor licenses,
It's
no,
yearly.
not New
For-
Jersey.
No, not liquor license. I'm talking about the pot licenses.
Pot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
in
crazy.
Pennsylvania, I did it's called a right to know request over in Pennsylvania. So I did a right to know request, and I got all of the financials of the Pennsylvania pot program, and they're bringing in millions and millions of dollars on just their licensing fees because there's so many dispensaries now. So the New Jersey really, I mean, that the current dispensaries sued New Jersey government so more dispensaries couldn't open, right? You know that?
Yeah.
So literally, they sued the places that they're going to, created an environment where only they can play,
Made a monopoly.
and spent big money doing it. Curaleaf owns, I think, somewhere around 70% of the cannabis market in the country right now. And they're Russian.
And weren't they putting
owned by
money
Russians.
behind any kind of legalization?
What's that?
I think they were putting money behind supporting no kind of legalization for recreation, weren't they? Or home grow. I was surprised when I saw them pop up for fund contributors towards something. I'll have to find it.
Well, I'm not. I can tell you that they're just bought. Like, there's a company over in Philadelphia. Sorry about that. Called Herbology, and they just bought Herbology. So like, they're literally just buying up places left and right, and then creating like small separate corporations that are legal in that state, so they can earn as many licenses as possible. Which I don't blame them. That's. Once you figure out how to manipulate politicians into regulating a business so only you can play, I mean, you could do that. You could just take that and market to all of your states,
Yeah.
Send in your lobbyists and get the rules written as you want them. So only you could play. A lot of places like Pennsylvania required a massive escrow. You had to put like $500,000 in escrow on top of licensing fees, opening a place, So I mean, you had to be a multi-millionaire to even think about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's why I think it's so fun to see weed men just freely selling pot across from the State House, and knowing that
I was there a couple of
Yeah.
times. There was like a steady stream of people.
Crazy. I never
Yeah,
seen nothing like it.
Listen, there's if you read the one article, the one guy's like saying that this place is the best thing that ever happened in Trenton, and I've had a theory, and I'll keep this theory, and I know it's true, that if you make cannabis readily accessible and cheap enough, and you put it all over the place, especially in inner cities, the gun violence would go down dramatically. The number of people addicted to opiates would go down dramatically, and it would begin to to wean off, you'd see the numbers of actual addicts go down and down and down, because a lot of people who originally try it wouldn't even get there if they had access to good cannabis at a good price. So violence reduction, harm reduction, creating jobs for people. I mean, that's what it really should be. It's the Bob Marley and the Rastas. We believe it's the healing of the nations. I lived with Jack Herer for several months of my life, and he was adamant by saying the only thing that can save the planet is hemp and cannabis. And he's right.
Absolutely.
But we're stuck imagine this. For decades, they've used cannabis users to manipulate profits in policing and the judicial system and private prisons. And that was such a failure that now they have to use cannabis to try to fill their coffers that they emptied out trying to keep us in prisons. It's so sad, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be a plant. It should be just treated like a tomato or a banana. And then nobody would get shot and killed over it either.
Yeah, Chucky wants to grow it with his tomatoes, and he should be able to grow it with his tomatoes.
I love tomatoes.
I love them.
I love gardening.
It's so much fun.
Well, yeah, listen, I just wanted to make sure I called in and shared that little lovely tidbit about our New Jersey anti-pot prohibitionist who it seems like they keep the same core group, right? It's the same core group of people who, guess what they all do? They all work in the rehabilitation industry or police. So you can't erase the easy money you get from the rehab, from all the pot prosecutions, that the easy arrests are on the police, right?
Yeah.
All those fines and the forced government rehab that pays Mary Pat and Robert Zlotnick.
Fish in a barrel.
And David Evans. He's an attorney for the rehab industry. So even if the person's an attorney, right? Look what they do. He literally works with rehabs to make it so they're compliant and get more patients. And how do you do that? You can't do it by legalizing pot. So, but hey, you guys have a beautiful show. I really appreciate the time on here.
Pat Duff, what's your website, Pat, that you have? Rabble Rouser?
Rabblerouser.blog. Rabble, RABBLEROUSER.blog. I've been eliminated, thrown off of Twitter. So I don't have a Twitter account because I questioned the COVID narrative on a grand scale, and you can't do that. That's
oh no, you got kicked off Twitter?
Yeah, oh yeah.
For sharing that link?
I'm suspended.
I'll share it from the main pages, from the groups and everything. I'll share it there.
Yeah, so share that. Make sure you tag Kevin Sabet in it. Oh my god. Because he's
What do I have to go like his page so that I can tag him?
But what I'm going to do, just so you know, is I'm taking the entire email list that was used for sending out these emails to New Jerseyans from Kevin Sabet, and I'm sending them all this article in an email. So, and I'm also going to attach to the bottom of the article in a couple minutes here the entire email list for anybody else that wants to copy and paste and send all these anti-pot prohibitionists a piece of their mind.
They put it on the Saraville police page too. They can't.
Oh yeah. Good old Chief Zimbrowski. Listen, he's not listed as a lobbyist.
No, he's not. But he's lobbying though.
Yeah, he's lobbying. So, and whoever this "Don't let pot go to NJ" or "Don't let NJ go to pot," I can't find them anywhere either. So I wonder if they also did a little reach around and went down to Delaware and registered as a corporation there. So
it's
that's going to be a mission of mine Monday.
That's Mary Pat's group, and Bishop Jethro James is in that group. I love Bishop James, but I don't know, man. Come on.
Now, you guys have a good day.
Thanks, Pat.
Have a great day, Pat.
See ya.
Pat Duff. Pat Duff, he's awesome. Oh, my goodness.
We're going to have to share that all around.
Wow. Share that one out there. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Let's see if this works. I don't hear nothing.
I don't hear
It's
anything.
not good.
Oop. There you go.
That's good. I'm not prepared. See how unprepared I am?
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Hold on. Trying to find you.
I'm on here. Let me wake up.
Where's your picture? Oh, I don't have a good picture
Let
of
me
you.
push this
Oh, no.
pop filled away from me.
Here it is. You're lucky I have a good picture of you. I almost didn't.
I can barely hear you.
What? What do you
Oh,
mean?
maybe I just... Oh, I can hear you now.
It's not me. It's you. Don't freak me out.
Oh.
I'm having enough problems here on this podcast. Nothing's working today. I'm getting freaked out.
You sure?
Jeesh. This is where I have to actually do some work and
You're having,
get my list here.
what are you doing?
I'm putting my list together. Oh, the list.
List?
I didn't set this up properly. I have to put. All right. First, we have to get rid of the UFCW. Sorry, Hugh. Okay. Then we're gonna put. All right, this goes up here.
Sure to be sad?
It's time to be sad unless you got something funny going on in Oregon.
Well,
But let me tell you before you start, World Diabetes Awareness Day is November 12th. So we're going to have a show all about diabetes. So we're going to talk to you early in the show. I want to know all about diabetes and how you have struggled with it and how you get it paid for certain other reasons. And some people don't get it paid for. And a lot of things. I want to talk about diabetes awareness because that's the
yeah, it's a difficult thing for me. Very difficult. And I wish there was a solution. I mean, you know, I can go on and on about my problems, my challenges. But, you know, I have a daily struggle with it.
First, I want to thank cmmnj.org, super helpful to us. They gave our charity some money. Their 501c3 gave our 501c3 some money. How does that work? We need to look. Are we a contractor now? How does that work? I don't know. I like it because they're so helpful. They've been helpful over the years for us. It's been great. So that's good. SativaCross.com, Sativa Cross West, Magical Butter, UFCW Local 152, DavidVersusAutism.org, LetPatientsGrowNewJersey.com, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Pure Puff Lifestyle Shop, DragonFlyHealthCenter.com, Sativa Cross West, and Thorn Peters.
I am the law.
And what's the new business? Did you add it?
I am the law.
Oh. See, I told you to remind me. So I'll do it right now. You tell me about it. I'm gonna do it, and you don't watch me do it. You tell me why I'm doing this. What I'm doing. And what am I putting here?
What are you doing then?
What's it called again? Oh, honey. Okay, please explain to me the name of your organization. Your new
Honeybee
business.
and Associates.
Honeybee and ass period.
No!
That's what I have here. Honeybee.
and Associates.
No, hold on. I lost it. Sativa.
Oh my.
Okay. How do I do this? Why is it going down to the bottom? This is freaking me out, man. Cut it out, dude. I'm freaking out right now. Nothing's working.
I can barely hear you.
Nothing works here. I've been here 7 years. I'm trying to edit this here.
Oh, jeez.
I'll put you after openmachine.com. Okay. Honey, bee, and ass period. So how did you come up with that name, Honeybee and Ass Period?
Oh my God.
Shouldn't it be capital A for ass?
Capital A. Oh, I'm sorry.
It just happened.
Capital
So
A.
all my,
Capital A.
so all y'all are asses.
Capital A S. Okay, so Ass Period. Okay, Ass Period. So does this? I think it's a great name. I think you're ballsy. I think that's very edgy. I've seen stuff like this in marketing that you look at that and you're like, wow, Honeybee and Ass Period. That could be many different things. Many different things go through my mind when I see Honeybee and Ass Period. Not a lot of them are great. Some of them are pretty awful, but some of them are really good. So how did you come up with the name Honeybee and Ass Period? Please elaborate. Thank you.
How did I come up with that? Well, you know, I'm really into like butthole art. Just kidding. Not. I didn't make it up.
Spirograph?
You know, I guess all the people that I work with are asses.
See, people are wondering what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, it's Honeybee and Ass Period. ASS period. That's what that's what she wants as her name. Honeybee and Ass Period. I didn't make this up. This is what she told me to write down. So I wrote it down. You're in here forever now as Honeybee and Ass Period. You're welcome. And thank you for your
I've
support.
been there forever. Thank you. You're so kind. Yeah, I told you, either you're laughing with me or at me, but either way, you're going to be laughing.
Well, you got to laugh because, you know, this list is hurtful and
It is.
super hurtful.
It's a good transition.
Oh, it is a good transition because you go from one extreme to the other. You go from, and we do that a lot. We go from laughing to like sad within like a minute, and it's like, whoa, that's like a chemical reaction in your brain, like, going down, and I don't like it sometimes. It's very hurtful. I know it's helpful maybe and hopeful maybe, but it's still hurtful because we have friends that are sick right now that we all have to pray for. Like Jeff Oaks. When Jim was on before, I put up a picture of Jim, and Jeff Oaks' picture just kept flashing during that. It was, I don't know, I can't explain it. It wasn't happening here, but it was happening that you could see it. So it wasn't like me seeing it and saying and explaining it. You were seeing it, and I couldn't explain it. So the first name on this list, hold on, I got pictures. We got Cheryl Miller right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cover you up there.
No problem.
But Cheryl Miller, it's Jim's wife. You just heard him before. He used to push her across the Garden State, which is not really a Garden State because you can't grow your own. That's what Cheryl would say. But however, he did push her across this non-gardening state of Garden State. And she did some great activism and inspired me to fight for the medical because I was just a pothead when I met those guys. I wanted to smoke weed. And I'm like, yeah, I want to legalize weed. Then I saw Cheryl Miller, and I'm like, what? This helps that? It helps MS? I saw him how he would exercise her, and she couldn't move her arms and straighten them out and bend them, but he would give her cannabis, and all of a sudden she could bend her arm. You can't see this, but she could bend her arm. She was able to do this after cannabis, but she couldn't do. She was rigid before. And Jim would work on her every day. He was a saint, and he would use cannabis himself to work on her because he needed it too. Sabina Rose, a 15-month-old baby. Died waiting for her card. Oh, man.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? What?
It fades in and out. I don't know what's going on. Keep on going.
Oh, man. This is Diane. Diane Ripatella. She came to the State House and she fought. She was a fighter. This is Marie. Joan. Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Troy, Russ Perry. Oh, hold on. Roger Barber. Jay.
I'm not talking in the microphone very well because it fades in and out still.
Okay, I'm probably not doing a very good job. Is that better? I'm sorry.
That's better.
Yeah, this is Ella. This is Hattie Koshel. It's little Jake the Tank. Armando. Lynn. Sean. Joyce. Lori. Brian. Thorne Peters.
I am the law. No man's right. I am the law. No man's right.
This is Frank and his sister Lorraine.
Oh, sorry.
This is Terry. Little Charlotte. Cher.
You're cute, Grandma.
Jaybird. Marley. And I'm going to give the show over to you, Honeybee.
I can't hear you. I just heard it's you, Honeybee.
Giving the show over to you, Honeybee.
Okay. So the last person on the list is my son, Michael Dillon, who passed away 5 years ago from epilepsy. And the only thing that helped him not have seizures consistently and for the longest amount of time was ISO. And so we would grow for him and make that for him. Because that was the most affordable way. Even though Oregon has super cheap cannabis here, you know, at the time, 5 years ago, you know, we didn't have as much free cannabis as we do now. I mean, I have so much free cannabis on my counter right now in my drawers. You know, it's ridiculous. But the problem with cannabis is that it's not medical copay prices for patients, and for cannabis being medicine and them calling it, you know, your medicine, they sure making it difficult for people who are sick and dying. And so he passed away. So if, you know, if everyone can give 10% tithing to someone in need, to someone who's sick and dying, you know, at the minimum, 10%, you know, it may be your time, your money, medicine, whatever you can, help people to not have to suffer and go through the things that people go through when they lose a loved one, especially a child. So, you know, I keep on trying to do what I can so I can help others not have to go through this. Thank you for putting him on the list. Hashtag they shall grow.
And please pray for Jeff. Hashtag Jeff's Law, and please pray for him.
Yes. Yes, everyone pray for Jeff. He needs all the prayers he can get. You ready?
They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We
We will remember them.
will remember them.